I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a
Okay, so as Ricky was just talking about,
So did you finally press record because you got your clean opening?
Asshole, I was already recording. Fuck you. No, I just muted you guys because I can do that. So, anyways, what you were just saying before I hit the record button, you managed to figure out how to turn up the volume on your new, well, not new, but headset you're using so that you could hear us during the podcast. And that reminded me that, do you guys recall last week I said that I accidentally answered a spam call because it's like I hit the button just in the right time.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not what happened. I figured out what was going on because I noticed I was missing calls right and left. Like, I'm like, what the fuck? I was like, there's no way it's a coincidence that I just happen to be away from my phone and I'm missing these calls. And so I went into the settings.
Connected to your computer?
No, because this is happening at work. No, the Bluetooth was connected. Everything was connected fine. Somehow, the volume for the ringer was completely turned off.
Oh.
Like, the notification sound was on. Like, there's like Ricky was just saying about advanced audio stuff. So, like, you have all the different slots. And apparently, just my ringtone was completely turned off.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
wow.
And I know I had an issue the other day, like, I forget what happened, but my phone was in, like, a really awkward position, and then when I picked it up, like, clearly a bunch of stuff had been pressed. So I'm guessing somewhere in that fumblefuckery that my volume got
It might have been that, or you might have got to update that. Fucking changed it.
No, because all the other settings were normal. So just for some reason that got turned down, or maybe I was trying to reduce the volume on something else, but it selected that. But either way, I turned that back up, and there's like, lo and behold, every time my phone rang, I could hear it because I wasn't even hearing it ring in the headset or in the earbuds. Right. So I knew something was going on because it would be ringing, but I wouldn't hear it. But if I didn't have the Bluetooth connected, it also wasn't ringing. So I was just really confused. But once I figured that out, then I had to adjust it accordingly because it's like, holy fuck, that's way too loud now. So yeah, either way, that was one of those stupid things.
Your thing was way too loud?
Yeah. Like, you don't think about it because, you'll just set it to a comfortable level, assuming that's the max, over time. And then when you do turn it to max, it gets absurd, especially when it's coming through your earbuds. And it's just loud as fuck when somebody's calling you. But yeah, no.
Just so you know, we jumped right into this and you forgot to do our mic checks and all that shit.
No, that's fine because all the settings are good. I didn't have to. I was watching it all this time. So, yep.
Nice.
Yep. So, I mean, Mike is a little low for some reason, but that's just the automatic gain, I assume.
Because I'm listening as I'm typing to a client right now and trying to be as interactive as possible.
Okay.
So,
he's typing fanfic.
Yes.
Into his fapdom. He's just fap factory over there. Anyways, so guys, welcome back to Now You Made It Awkward podcast. Lucky episode 13.
This is the one where we get canceled.
Yeah, shit. If we didn't get canceled from last week, then I don't know what would do it. We didn't even do anything that offensive last week, but it happens.
Did we get a shit ton of comments?
We got a couple. Comments. Nice. And sorry,
I guess we're doing it too half-assed then. We should be using our whole ass.
So either way, of course, I am Shoky. You can follow me at all Shoky and Shoky related things down in the description below. And of course, you can buy some merch if you want to help support as well. And then we have good old Ricky over here.
What's going on, y'all?
Eating his hot dogs. And of course...
Nope, actually, I just finished it.
Oh, good. Even better. He shoved them down his throat real quick. And
swallowed them whole.
Exactly. That's the best way to do it, like a duck.
I got that glizzy gulp. Y'all don't know what's up.
And of course, you can follow his work over at the Nerd Rage Radio Facebook, at least where he does his promo videos for them. And of course, that's our weekly shout out to Nerd Rage, because that's what it do. And then, of course,
how we roll.
In the opposite corner of this triangle, we do have the Comic Relief Crusader.
Hello.
And you can follow Mike at all his Comic Relief Crusadery things, either on YouTube or on the Facebook. How's your Facebook group going, by the way?
Not bad. 12 people. I mean, still small, but it's getting there.
Yeah. Try to cut it off at around 100. It gets really hard to manage after that.
Yeah.
And of
Then I'm
course,
gonna have to
He
find-
just said I
Yeah.
have 12, and you're like, well, when you hit 100,
yeah. Well, the reason I say that because
Let me tell you, you young whippersnapper, when you hit 100, then you're in trouble.
well,
you think 100 is bad? Wait till you hit 1.2 million subscribers, then you're really fucked.
that's not even subscribers. That's just people joining into the group.
Oh, God.
But either way,
You have to manage them
you-
all, yeah.
you can also buy stuff from Mike's store at Freelance Graphics with a K.
You know where the K goes.
No, you choose where the K goes.
No, this time I'm going to be different in a Maverick.
Yeah, he wanted to be different this time. That's
I.e., Top Gun is out now.
yeah, if I'd realized that, I
Heard.
probably would have gone to see it. Actually,
I have heard nothing but awesome things about it.
Yeah, same here.
I've actually heard nothing about it because I don't want to know anything till I go see it.
I have a couple friends. I have a couple friends that went and saw. One of them went and saw it today, and all he put in there was he's like, "Go fucking see it. If you like Top Gun at all, go see it and go see it in the movie theater."
Yep.
Yeah,
It does everything right.
I assume this would be an
Mhm.
amazing one for IMAX. So
I'll never know, but probably.
yeah, I've only seen a couple things in IMAX, and the last thing I saw was Dark Knight Rises. So
The one and only thing
it's
I ever
been a
saw
while.
in IMAX 3D was Jurassic World, the first one, and it gave me a fucking migraine to the point where I had to walk out of the movie theater.
Yeah, because it was in 3D, not just IMAX. Like I don't go see 3D
they're
shit.
two different things.
Yeah, you can get IMAX.
I didn't know
IMAX is just gigantic. You know.
Okay.
Yeah, IMAX is gigantic screens. You can see that without it being 3D.
Cool. Then I might do that.
Yeah, no, but I have done it. I have done an IMAX 3D movie type deal at the. Was it at Moody Gardens? Yeah, it was at Moody Gardens down in Galveston. You know, down there, like aquarium pyramid thing. You can also they have those things, and it was all about aquatic life and stuff like that. They gave you the 3D glasses, and it looked like you were really in the water with the things. But yeah, totally, it was giving me a headache. So I just took them off and just dealt with the weird, semi-blurry 3D footage.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right. And as usual, we do have some comments to read. Not as many as the last couple weeks, but I know Christine is still playing catch up for sure because she was without power for like 5 days straight.
Well, I'm glad she's got her power back now.
Yeah, so her power got knocked out, I believe, Saturday night due to the storm, and she didn't get it back till Thursday, middle of the day. So,
Wow.
and then they turned it off again, I guess trying to reestablish something else. You know how they got to do, turn them off and turn them on in sectors.
Right.
So it was off again for like another 45 minutes. And so she has to currently refill her fridge and everything else like that. So, but we do have a comment over on episode 12. That's the Chuckle Fucks, but not strictly French. And Will says, I regret nothing except giving Ricky his new catchphrase. And I will.
Well, that makes you a chuckle fuck too now.
Yeah, so Will is also now a chuckle fuck.
We know who the influencer is.
And by the way, a chuckle fucker is somebody who fucks comedians for fame. That's what a chuckle fucker actually is.
You're a chuckle fuck.
No, I'm not. All right, but on our Dave Chappelle and Jim,
chuckle fuck?
yeah. So on
Was
our
that all he said? Was I regret nothing but that?
Yes. No, he has another comment, but not on that video. So on our episode 12 bonus, which was Dave Chappelle engendering hate or standing up to bullies, Jason writes in again, and he says, I was bullied a lot when I was young. Comic Relief Crusader, you are right. Sometimes you just have to leave it in the past. I never seen my bullies ever again since junior high.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that
Sometimes
was,
you just gotta leave the past in the past
yeah.
to move forward.
And like, I've listened to that particular episode, I think like 4 or 5 times now. Like, I thought it was just really good. I think our discussion actually went really well.
It was good. It was very deep. That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
Organically like that.
So to speak.
Yeah.
No, I did reply to him. All I said was, I saw mine throughout high school, being in a smallish town, most of the same people throughout the same school system the whole time. But, most of the bullies basically grew out of their bullshit. And then there was those couples who just couldn't, move on.
And now they're just alcoholic trailer park dwellers that smoke meth all the time.
What do you mean now? That's what they always.
Well, I'm saying, but that's what they are now. Like
I know.
when they were
Curious
teenagers.
enough, so are mine.
There we go.
Isn't that weird how that works?
That's
They're
weird.
the
How,
Trailer Park Boys. I've seen that show.
yeah, it's like strange how trailer park meth addicts always seem the same, regardless of what country you come from.
I know. Weird.
However, we do have a comment from Will on that episode.
Quick disclaimer: Shoki does not speak for me,
I speak for everybody when I say.
but usually we're pretty close in thought process.
Yeah. So, all right. So Will said, this episode just recontextualized a lot of don't be an asshole from last week. While I still disagree with Mike, now I have a better understanding of why he feels the way he does. Plus, Ricky did a better job of articulating how I felt about said topic than I did. Kudos to Ricky. If I had heard this convo first instead of the previous one, I don't think I would have flown off the handle like I did. Also, on an unrelated note, anime suggestion for Ricky, Code Geass. If you liked Gurren Lagann, I think you'd really like that. Big mecha, good world building and story, one of the best dubbed animes he can think of. So, yeah, I'd get behind that.
So kudos for me, and you guys are chuckle fucks. I like this Will guy.
I like how I don't get any credit. It's just Ricky gets the credit, and Mike somewhat gets a minor apology.
I mean,
I get nothing for being in the middle. I
just kind of ran that one. You're welcome.
I get nothing for being in the middle.
You sound better than both of us on microphone. There you go.
You're more like neutral.
Yeah,
you're like the arbitrator.
I'm usually the moderator.
Oh yeah. No! I am definitely the neutral gray in this group.
Oh, you are not. You are not.
I'm definitely the neutral in this group.
Smell the bullshit in the air.
That is so much bullshit. You are not remotely neutral.
I am neither right nor left. I am definitely the neutral.
You have more left-leaning tendencies than us, but not by much.
And Jason, also, if you are out there listening, also thank you for your comment as well.
Yes.
I mean, besides Will,
Yep.
Will too, but
who's Jason? What'd Jason say?
I just missed that.
That was the one I read first.
He was the one that
he said that he had his bullies through junior high.
Okay,
yeah.
sorry about that.
Yeah, they're not all
Gotcha.
Will. You just hear.
Sorry,
Will
I was just totally
right.
still living on that high of kudos for me. Fuck you, chuckle fucks. I was just living on that. I forgot other people talked. I'm sorry, Jason, but kudos to me does not happen often, so I kind of dwell on that.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, also thank you everybody for commenting and liking and subscribing.
Yes,
yep.
we need more subscribbles and we need some more likes and some more downloads, but we appreciate everybody who does come back every week for this garbage heap of a podcast that we somehow shape into a prettier turd. So
yeah. Tell your friends about it now that we all have microphones and don't sound like donkey shit. Tell them to come listen to us.
We are trying so hard to polish this turd to perfection.
I would say we're professional, but I'm sitting in shorts and flip flops on my pool deck, so I don't really call us professionals.
Party mix and don't regret a thing.
I mean, I'm in shorts, flip flops, and drinking GFuel with vodka in it, so we're doing good.
Nice.
Yep. So a new
about to get fucking wild.
So it's a watermelon limeade GFuel. So that's already fucking right up my alley.
Y'all remember the last time SHOKY was drinking on this show? It got wild.
No. That was when I was already drunk. I drink every week.
Get unhooked.
There's only been 1 week that I was not drinking on the show. So,
but now be honest, because our cameras are off. Are you drinking like a doof?
What does that mean?
Do you have your drink inside a fucking Now You Made It Awkward coffee cup?
No, it's in a big like 30 ounce pink cup.
I'm just checking. You got doof tendencies. I'm just checking, man.
No, I'm not drinking out of the Naimia cup. They wouldn't have all fit in it. Now, if we had the Naimia tumbler, which you can probably also buy if I actually put that in the merch store.
Fuck, quit calling it Naimia.
No, it's Naimia for short.
No, you made it a big long obnoxious name on purpose, so you fucking say it every time.
That's true. And if you guys also want to tie into the big long purposeless name, you can email us at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com.
Nice. That was a segue, y'all.
That wasn't that's kind of a segue. But I was trying to get it in earlier when Mike was talking about subscribing, but we got derailed by drinking things and being chuckle fucks over here in our flip flops.
There's
always Eigevolts. Oh, by the way, nobody answered my question as to what movie I was quoting in the Dave Chappelle thing. So we're gonna wait and see if anyone catches that.
Man, just give the answer. We're not nobody.
No. I want people to actually reference it. I want people to
give the answer. Give the answer.
It was fucking Monty Python and the Holy Grail. I was talking about Roger the Shovel.
Yeah, you're not telling me something I don't know. I'm the guy who's watched that movie 1,000 times. I knew the answer, but they were supposed to guess.
We want a strawberry.
Mm-hmm. Mighty brave Sir SHOKY, Sir SHOKY ran away.
No, Stop it. No, I didn't. Stop it. That show is fucking ridiculous.
I still give my wife shit. I still give my wife shit about that. Yeah, knights that say we are no longer the knights who say knee. Now we're the knights who say icky, 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 boing.
We are the knights
Yeah,
that say.
I might have seen that movie once or twice.
We are the
Just a
knights
few.
that say. No.
But
Yep.
I just dropped my
love that
metal
Castle
fiddle.
Anthrax. Am I right?
Castle Anthrax. Yep.
I'm gonna tell you, yes. I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you one of the funniest things because he finally responded with what it was. A friend of mine had applied for a job. He lives in Alabama now, and he had
Right.
applied for a
Where he's
job.
from.
And he messaged me and he said, "No, I'm not from there, and this is the wrong show."
I said where he's from.
Oh, okay. No, actually he is from there. He's from Florence, Alabama, which is where Helen Keller's from. Like that's their big claim to fame. They have like the big museum up there and stuff.
Wow.
But
Wow.
how you call it? And actually he lives like half an hour away from Muscle Schultz. So I got to see like where Skinner and everybody used to record back in the day, like the little
Cool.
recording studio.
That's cool.
But he messaged me one day. He's like, "Dude, I just applied for a job." I'm like, "Cool. You know, are you going to take that instead of," because he was a trucker. I was like, "You're going to take that and get off the road?" He's like, "No." I'm like, "Why not?" He's like, "Because they didn't want to pay me anywhere near enough to go work over there." I was like, "Well, cool story. Thanks for telling me you're not getting a job." He goes, "No, I messaged you because it was the coolest fucking job application ever." I'm like, "Why is that?" And he sends me a picture of it. And it looks like a normal application. And then he goes, "That's the front." And you flip it over and it's the back. You know, they have all your job history and like 3 people you know that aren't related. And then it has the big, I swear that everything I've given is positive. And you got to sign it and date it.
Yeah.
And at the bottom, it said, "Bonus question. What is the average airspeed of a coconut laden swallow?" And then I had a blank line for him to write on. And all he wrote was, "Is it an African or an English swallow?"
Yes.
And he said the boss, when he flipped it over and saw that, he started cracking up till he had like tears run down his face. He's like, "Nobody gets that reference. You're literally the first person that ever
How
wrote
does
that in."
no one get that? Like that's
And,
so
well,
dumb.
it's Alabama.
I guess
it's Alabama.
it's Alabama, but
And he
still,
literally
that's
said,
unforgivable.
he said to me, "Thanks for making me watch that movie." I'm like, "You're welcome."
Woo, big sneeze.
So I thought that was pretty funny. It was actually printed on a job application.
You know what? I would have taken the job anyway because if
Just
you
for
know your
that.
boss is that cool to put it on an application, you're gonna get
Yep.
along with him.
Now, is it
Yep.
actually is it a European swallow or is it an English swallow? I think it's European.
Yeah, I think it
African,
was African and
or
European.
European.
Yeah. You said England.
Yeah.
You said English.
Whatever.
So it's European. So
And
you got
is
it
England
wrong,
not
Ricky.
in Europe?
An unladen
No,
swallow.
it's not.
Well, not now, but this was
It
pre
wasn't
all that,
then
so
either.
it was.
It
Yes, it
wasn't then
was.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
Nope. It was still its own thing. They hadn't joined the European Union by then.
That is incorrect, sir.
Not in King Arthur's time.
No, when the movie came out, Ding Dong.
Yeah, that was a documentary.
Oh, I'm gonna punch you in your mouth. So
Was it not a
So-
documentary? Was it not?
no,
a
it wasn't.
documentary?
It was a mockumentary. So do you know why the movie ended the way it did?
I used to, but remind me.
They ran out of fucking money for the production because the original ending, they were going to find the Grail and it was going to be like a whole big thing, but they ran out of production. So they literally went down the street and found these cops on the corner and were like, "Hey, come record this with us real quick."
That's
And
right.
that's where
That's how they
the
ended
cops
it.
raiding them and shutting it all down. That was just a made up on the spot thing just to have an ending.
Yeah, but they tied it back in by having it where they technically murdered that one person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was so
Yep.
ridiculous. If you guys have not seen
I-
Monty Python and the Holy Grail, don't bother because you're not going to get it at this point. You go back to the mid '90s and watch it, and then come back and tell us.
No, it's still a great movie. Don't fucking bullshit that.
I
It's
want
still a
them to
great
time
movie. You'll
travel,
still
Ricky.
laugh.
Exactly.
And let me tell
The
you
only thing
another.
you have to say
I'm
is
going to tell you,
have a sense
ev-
of humor, have an actual sense of humor, and watch it.
man, everybody always talks. You mentioned that, and they always talk about Life of Brian and
Which I've never seen.
those, but the ones that they always forget, and I own it on DVD, and I will gladly show you guys. It's a movie called Yellowbeard. That movie is fucking hilarious. Did you say ugh? Did you ever watch it, Shoki?
No, but I'm just thinking about what that means.
Oh, dude, you have to watch
It's Monty Python, and it's the guy who plays King Arthur. He plays a pirate, like a blonde-haired, bearded pirate.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
Let me go. Let me go. Googles. I must Googles this.
I think you can buy it off of Amazon, but I own it. I bought it. It was awesome.
Yellowbeard.
You know the reason why they gave him all the leads?
Because he was the best looking one of all of
Yellowbeard
them.
and Life of Brian and Holy Grail and all that.
He was the best looking one of all of them.
Well, yes, but there was a reason why. See, because he had a really bad, terrible drinking problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the rest of the guys were hoping that to basically, like, even during the show, he'd be like a really heavy drinker. He would come into work late. He would
Mhm.
forget some of his lines. So they wanted to, get him out
Keep
of
him
that
busy.
alcoholism.
Yeah.
And so they made him the lead in a lot of the skits and even the movies in the hopes that it would,
Keep him straight.
make him focus more on the job rather than, drinking himself.
They're trying to
into
cut
it.
out his free time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of being in a unconscious state of drunkenness.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
Also-
unfortunately, it didn't go that way. Right?
See, you also neglected to say that Cheech and Chong are in that movie.
Yeah, well,
That's crazy.
that's not the best part of that movie.
No, but I'm just saying, like, you neglected that part.
I didn't neglect anything. I told you to go watch it. You
neglected
would have
it
found out.
all.
You just Googled and ruined the whole movie.
It's on the cover.
Just go get it.
I don't want to.
Okay, I'll mail you mine. You can watch mine and send it back.
Okay.
So
cool.
how was your week, Shoki?
Oh, I'm going first.
That was not a
Segue?
segue. That was a
rough
fucking brick to the
segue.
face.
That was
no
terrible.
segue at all.
Try again. Let's try again.
I'm not even going to give you my line on that because there was no segue in that. That was just a brick to the face.
We'll just talk our way through that.
Yeah. So, like it's crazy that in Yellowbeard, like the whole entire time frame just lasts like a couple weeks. And speaking of weeks, how was your week? See, that's a fucking segue, Mike.
I'm more blunt.
Mike doesn't do subtle.
No, I don't.
Mike goes
Wow.
cannonball
See,
into the.
Ricky forced it, but yes. yes.
Yeah.
Hey,
See,
if it
I
don't
jumped in
fit,
with
force
both
it.
feet.
But I got it there.
Yes. All
Mike
right.
cannonballs into the bathtub. Like he is just not subtle at all.
Or
Mike
did
doesn't
I
even wait
make
for the water.
you segue the segue? No.
Segwayception.
Either way, I'm leaving it in. It's terrible. I guess I'll go first.
It
just for the
is.
fuck of it.
It is.
So my week was mostly boring, if I'm going to be honest. I did work a bit extra this week since, the troubles I was having at work, they somewhat corrected themselves. So I did get in a few more hours this week. So next paycheck should look pretty nice. Although
Nice.
pretty beat up from some of the areas I had to drive through. So that actually kind of sucked. Like things that aren't necessarily paved anymore and have like potholes that would put, most downtown metro areas to shame.
Nice.
So that kind of sucked, but other than that, it is what it is. We did have those weird kind of complicated natures. It's also a little funny because, our week was shorter than usual since we recorded on Tuesday last week, which was really freaking weird, but it is what it is. Now we're back to our normal schedule.
It was fine for me and Mike, but you had to rush and get all the editing done in one day. That shit was funny.
Surprisingly easy. I'm not gonna lie. Like that was a fairly easy edit. I didn't have to move anything around. So that was actually pretty good. I think it only took me 2 hours total. I mean, other than to put out actually export things. So that was.
I'm gonna let y'all in a secret. It's all easy to edit. He overcomplicates it.
No, if I have things I want to move around or need to clean stuff out, there was stuff I did remove. It was just kind of like bullshit stuff, like nothing that mattered. So, but things that you just like.
I don't appreciate
fluff.
being censored without being spoken to about it first.
Oh well, don't care. Either way, so
fucking
I did manage to get some reviews done. I still need to do a few more. Actually, I need to do a transformation video for the New Age Cyclonus, so I can get that done. I'm actually using the same mic Ricky is right now to record my reviews, and it sounds so much better. Like the last few, when I was just using my phone as it was, just sounded like ass. Like there's got to be some damage or something clogging up the factory microphone in my phone.
Probably just has like pocket lint in it or something.
I tried cleaning it out, or at least tried to, a little compressed air, try to blow it out or something. Just, I don't know. Something's going on there. I mean, I do drop my phone quite often too. Another thing I managed to do, I reorganized things a little bit. I moved the Billy that was out in the quote unquote hallway into
the Halo Billy.
No, the Halo Tolf is here in the room. But what my original plan was to swap the Halo Tolf for that Billy, so it would be kind of out there on its own, since it's the only thing that doesn't really match in here. But then I wanted a space to hang my my kind of nerd artwork and prints and stuff like that I've had, but I have no open wall space in here. So what I did is I just pulled the Billy in here into the spot where the artwork was attempted to be hung. And then I put up a bunch of it. The Star Wars related stuff is now where the Billy used to be. And then all of the like Doctor Who and Firefly artwork is now hanging up in my bathroom. So,
Nice.
you know, and then I've got two 12 by 36 inch prints that I need to get framed. And I can't find a 12 by 36 inch frame to save my fucking life. I can find 11
Doctor
3/4.
Who in the shit closet. That just sounds apropos.
No, it doesn't. So, God damn it. But either way, so
He's now a Poovian.
You put
I hate
considering
you
the
so
direction
much.
of which the show's going. Yeah, well,
I guess, yeah.
it might be apt.
Yeah, it might be at this point, but at least I do need to get, because this all from the same artist, Brent Woodside. You know, it's a guy I ran into at the Texas Renaissance Festival. You know, he had a whole booth set up, you know, selling all his nerd and just whatever type of artwork he and his wife do. And for 2 years in a row, I went and bought prints from them directly when they came in, but then they haven't come back to that festival in years. And then the last time he rolled through was for Comic Palooza, but I couldn't get down there. He actually invited me. He's like, "Hey, if you want to come down, I've got an extra thing. You know, I can get you in on one of my things." And I was like, I just couldn't manage it, sadly, or else I totally would have been down there. So shout out to Brent, cool dude. I love his artwork. So I do need to get those 12 by 36 inch framed, but I can't find an actual 12 by 36 frame. I can only find 11 3/4, so I might have to order them online. And I do want to reframe my 11 by 14. So like I've got the cheapo frames, like they're, you know, just got the very thin edge and the glass pane up front, and it doesn't go with the other artwork on the wall, which has a real thick black frame. So I think I'm going to reframe all those with heftier frames and kind of reorganize them to kind of all work together. But like I've got a really nice Mandalorian piece that I want to, you know, put up there above that, so I have all the Star Wars stuff together, and then the Supernatural one that's just the car, you know, the Impala. That one I'm going to hang up in the bathroom with the rest of the car artwork too. So, let's see what else. Oh, I did get a couple things in. From the Target, I managed to find the other 3 Ninja Rangers that have come out. So the pink, blue, and black. Luckily, hit my local Target, so I didn't have to go very far. But
the Ninja Rangers were the ones from the first movie, right?
Yeah, so that's when they got the Ninja Ranger, their ninja powers there, the Ninjetti uniforms as they called them in
That's
that
like
movie.
the frog and the bear and all that.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
And Hasbro definitely sent these to the shittiest possible factory. There are paint apps that are fucking horrendous. There's ones that are assembled wrong, like the torso is not pushed together properly. There's like a lot of details that are just sloppy. Like I don't mean like a little bit out of line, like somebody just like sneezed and like just went everywhere with the paint and just put it in a box anyways. A lot of them are coming with like 2 left hands or 2 right hands. So it's kind of a clusterfuck. So they're probably going to have to do an apology tour later for it, like they've done with some of the other ones that have come out really badly. But this is like all of them. So luckily I had enough to choose from when I went, so I actually just picked the best ones I could find. But there was only one version.
Enjoy that while you can, because once those clear boxes go away, you ain't gonna be able to do that shit no more.
Yeah, I just wonder how long it'll take for the Power Rangers to get to that point, you know, because they printed out all these boxes, you know, for a certain amount of time. They're not going to swap that over. I mean, like Transformers is only just really rolling into it. You know, they haven't.
But that's because they started a new line. They started a new legacy line, so it was like good timing.
And same thing with, you know, Marvel Legends is about to start doing it, but not for a little bit. You know, it's going to be the Spider-Man stuff. Yep. So, you know, it's probably going to be a while before they do that. But dude, these things, like I said, I got the best ones I could find, so they're pretty decent. But I'm kind of excited. I actually like that getup, but I prefer the version because it actually comes with the regular head, like the regular human head with the bandana or whatever you want to call it around their head. And then it comes with the like full on like ninja, you know, garb, you know, all you can see is the eyes and, you know, and then it comes with the one from the movie, which just has like the ninja mouth covering and then the bandana around, but the hair and stuff is still open. So it's pretty cool. Like they mixed it up between the movie and the TV show. So it's pretty neat because the TV show did the fully covered heads, but the movie
because it wasn't
didn't.
actually the actors being them.
Yeah, generally speaking. So it's pretty cool, but they do come with some pretty stupid effect parts. So there's that part. So that means there's still 3 more to get because they love their Pink Ranger. We have to get another Pink Ranger because, Cat took over for Kimberly. So we have to re-release it again with a Cat head instead of a Kimberly head. But it's the exact same figure, no difference.
I thought Cat was the Yellow Ranger.
No. Cat was the one who replaced Kimberly.
Oh, I was out by that point. So
yeah, that was the end of Ninja rolling into Zeo. So, but so they have to give us another Pink Ranger instead of just giving us an extra head, which is stupid. But that's one thing.
But then people would have bitched about that too, because now they're like, oh, now you're gonna make me buy 2 of them so I can have different heads on different bodies.
People are buying them multiples anyways, because people are buying them so they can use all the different heads. I mean, I just got into a Lightning Collection group on Facebook, and these people literally are buying them up like 2 or 3 at a time each, and
the joys of capitalism.
Yeah, but the problem is with that is they're clearing out freaking shelves so nobody can get them. So that part I'm not happy about, but it is what it is, I guess. But then, they're doing it just so they could have every head variation, but then there's so many people who are inbox collectors, which personally drives me nuts because I'm not like that. I want this shit out on the shelf, But
and if somebody says they're an inbox collector and they buy multiples because there's multiple heads in there, I would slap the fuck out of them.
Well, it's usually with them, they're buying multiples so that they can display every version and have one sealed in box.
Yeah.
That's usually what they're doing. I did see
earlier. I used to be that way with comics.
Yeah, exactly. So I saw a guy earlier who literally bought doubles of all of them so that he could keep one in box, and then the one that he took out of the box, he would turn the box 90 degrees so it would complete the box artwork on the front, so to speak, because it has a wraparound image of their face. So,
oh my God.
So it's like, good Lord. It's like, I get it, but that's just not me. I did, I ordered another thing off of BBTs, another 5-2 Toys figure. One that I thought I had ordered, but clearly I didn't. So I was like, oh, better fix that. So I ordered that. So I'll be shipping that hopefully sometime soon, along with my statue that's just sitting there. But watch I'll go to ship it next Friday, and like 2 pre-orders will drop at the same time. One thing I wanted to mention when you talk about the multiple head things, the Super 7 version of the Power Rangers is coming with alternate heads for the other Rangers who have played the same.
And those are
color.
$50 a pop, so fuck that shit.
Yeah, but dude, they might be better. Normally I would say no, but like they might be significantly better than
that's cool, but then you buy
doing.
one Super 7 for whichever version's your favorite one. That's your Super 7 one, and then you go to the store and buy the mainline ones that are only $25 to do all the head swapping shit on.
Yeah, but I mean, like, I don't know, because like the fact that like you buy the Red Ranger, for instance, it comes with Jason head, it comes with the Rocky head, it comes with the Dragon Shield, it comes with the Dragon Dagger, it comes with the Power Sword, it comes with the toy versions of those weapons as well. So you can.
It has the shoulder pad things too that you can add to it too.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I'm talking about. It comes with the the gold Dragon Shield, but then also the swap out arms to have the gold bands too.
Mm-hmm.
And dual things, plus every version of the Blade Blaster, whether it's the gun, the sword, or the storage mode. So I mean, the amount of accessories the Super 7s come with really makes up the difference, and the fact that everything is actually painted proper, there's no paint apps missing, everything looks good, even the head sculpts, even though there may be
you don't have to sell me on Super 7. I have all the
I know
cats.
you.
I like Super 7,
but like I'm almost trying to sell myself here at this point. But one thing I do, 2 things technically. I have the Super 7 Megazord and Dragon Zord on order, so I kind of want those because they're going to be almost the right size to go with all the monsters. So like,
I don't like them because the Zords, everybody that puts out Zords now, they're too small.
Well, I agree, but that's why I said like these are Super 7, so they're going to be at least 7 inches.
Slightly bigger.
Yeah.
But at the bare minimal, the Zords should be the size of like the Transformer combiners.
I mean, if you're going to go there, yes, but that's even too big for what they are. Like even the Soul of Chigokin, one is not that big realistically.
Yeah, but the Blitzway one is bigger.
Blitzway?
Yeah, the new one that's coming out.
Blitzway has a Voltron. I don't know if they have a Megazord.
So you just said Soul of Chijokin. I was talking about their Voltron versus the Blitzway.
Oh, you're talking about Voltron. I'm talking about Megazord though. It's like, yeah.
I was latticing from
Yeah.
You said
No,
the
that is
company.
bigger. That is bigger. Yes, I agree.
One
But
would almost say he's segueing from that.
he wasn't,
Oh, no one wouldn't because only I say that, Mike.
and he wasn't, so it doesn't matter.
You
But
can't own a word, Ricky.
Sure I can.
but either way, I've got those on.
I own
pre-order.
a whole book of them. It was written by some guy named Webster.
But which one?
Daniel.
Because some of those words are not in there anymore. They've eliminated some of them, and they keep adding other ones.
Yep.
Your
I
word,
got the good one.
your word collection will never be complete.
Nope. Constantly upgrading. I keep one mint in box and one open with the spine cracked.
Fucking
Lovely.
Oh, speaking of which, actually, I did pick up some more comics. Thank you for reminding me of that. I did pick up the final issue of Power Rangers Universe, so we learn how that story ends, which leads into some new and interesting things as well. I did get the final issue of...
Is that the Omega Rangers one you were talking about?
No, Universe is the one where it talks about the first Ranger team. Like the one that actually harnessed the grid into actually forming the Power Rangers.
Gotcha.
No, the one with the Mega Rangers is Power Rangers. So there's Mighty Morphin, then there's Power Rangers, and then here's the fun part. So there's a separate version of each, and then also just in the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers is a singular line comic that started at 1 and is going all the way to 100. It just...
I think my nose just started to bleed.
Yeah. Well, I mean, all they do is instead of making them separate titles, you can have them together. Like they don't separate the two, and they can one continuous numbering system. Because the stories overlap. Like they're happening, simultaneously, just in two different places. So I mean, it would make sense to do it. But some people will get all those covers, other ones won't. I did get issue 3 of Batman Beyond White Knight. Mm-hmm. Really cool.
Still liking it?
Oh yeah, still loving it. We get to see the new Batsuit tried out. It's pretty cool. And obviously there's more than 3 issues, so there was only 3 that you could order ahead, I guess, so they only planned so far. So now if I were to pre-order them, I could probably get the next 2. So it is still going. It's probably going to be like 6 or 7 issue run, if I had to guess, kind of like the Harley Quinn was. And then they're going to have the Jason Todd spin-off as well. So I'm enthralled in this story, and I love seeing old Bruce running around doing what he's got to do. And in last issue, there was a big surprise dropped that they followed up on in this one. So no spoilers for it, but go read it because it's pretty fucking cool.
Did they do a good job following it up? Because sometimes they drop the ball in between issues.
No. Because they're going from 1 minute to the next. There's no time gap. It's just like it stopped here and then it goes on. And actually, one thing that's really neat is at the end of every issue, Sean Murphy actually writes a little kind of letter to the reader about what's going on and stuff like that. Like he wanted to explain how we got from one spot to the next, and then he wants to explain how what happened in that issue. I was like, wait, why did you make this decision? And then he talks about it, stuff like that. So it's kind of cool. Like it justifies the writing and explanations of things like that in the book. Because if you remember, I brought it up the first time that Jason Todd is now the first Robin. And he does explain that. And it is explained as a whoopsie. He literally just fucked that up and had to go with it. Huh. So it's like, it's not just that it's an alternate universe. It's that, he fucked up when he wrote that and drew it and then remembered later, oh, my bad. And then just rolled with it. He just had to roll with it at that point. This was a thing. Yeah, so
it was already in print, wasn't trying to fix it.
Yep, that's what happened because he got a little bit of blowback when it released. He's like, "Oopsie, my bad. Sorry about that, guys." I mean, it still works. It makes the story work, so it's fine. There is one cool thing.
He should have had a set of balls and be like, "I said what I said. Fuck y'all."
Well, yeah, it's just I like that he admitted that it was a mistake, not just tried to cover it up, But the other thing that's really neat. So one new addition to this story, because it does encapsulate every Batman movie, comic, TV show, everything that's ever existed is technically in this universe somehow. They added the new Batmobile into it. So that the
Fast and the Furious Batmobile?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so that's added in there too. So it's pretty cool. They showed it in this one. I was like, yes. I was like, that's fun. But they also play.
I like when they do that. Because they do that in Hush. They showed the Batcave with all the Batmobiles, and they had like every iteration of Batmobile up to that time was in there.
Yep.
That was pretty cool.
Yep. So
I do like Hush.
and that is what happened in Curse of the White Knight. You know, we actually got to see how he had to utilize the different Batmobiles and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And of course, his favorite was the '89 Batmobile too.
Which is not the right answer, but
But it is what it is. Yes, but at least the animated series Batmobile was in there too.
Oh,
What?
guys, I do want to say that a certain Mr. Bobby Skullface says he sends his love to all of you guys.
like
And he calls
as in
you
me,
gentlemen.
me,
I was
you,
like, to
me,
us?
you and Shoki, or
Yeah.
as in all
Oh,
the people
okay.
listening
To us three.
Oh,
Nice.
okay. So
And he called us gentlemen on top of that.
Oh,
Yeah,
man,
he
we
does
really
that.
got him fooled.
Well, you know, we do our job. So
yeah, that's fine.
We love
Yeah.
you, Bobby, but you just admitted to not listening to our show by calling us gentlemen.
Thanks, Bobby. So you're talking to Bobby on the side there. That's fine. We'll get Bobby on the show one day.
the dream is over.
We will get Bobby on and be like,
The
hey,
illusion is
it's just
shattered.
like Nerd Rage. It's like it's just Nerd Rage with a different label. It's fine. It's Nerd Rage.
That's what I try to explain. I don't remember if it was on here I was talking about it, or I was talking about it with friends of mine. I was like, I try to think of it like when I do this show, and like, you know, we do reference Nerd Rage stuff like by name and by personalities on there, but sometimes we also just talk about subjects that have happened there. So when I do this show, I treat it more like if I was sitting at Nerd Rage's table while this conversation was going on with Bobby, Joe, and Chris, what would I be saying to them? And it's like kind of like that. Like, it's, you know, when you listen to them and you shout shit at your radio, this allows me the chance to say it onto something. So most of the crazy shit you hear me saying is what I yell at my radio.
Yeah, I just had a meta moment just now, thinking that there are people who will listen to our shows and will also be shouting at the radio.
Yeah.
But then they don't.
And one day they'll start their own podcast and be like, "Did you hear? Now you made it awkward this week. Them fucking idiots."
I remember those three guys. They were talking, and I was yelling.
Yeah.
And then I shit myself.
I had to go in my safety bubble.
That's right.
But I was talking to, actually last night at the brewery, I was talking to.
And to those people, I say we thank you for that reaction. It shows how effective we are.
Yeah. And jokes aside, thank you, Bobby, for the shout out. We love you too, Podfather.
Hi, Bobby.
That's right, the Podfather.
Hi, Bobby.
Anyway, hi, Bobby.
Oh,
hi,
so
Bobby.
Yes.
Look at me, I'm Shoki. I'm so above it. Hi, Bobby.
Hi, Bobby. So, as for watching stuff, we continued on with Ozark. We are in the middle of season 3. Did you figure out what episode you left off at, Ricky, or are you just not bothered yet?
I'm in season 2, actually. I'm further back than I thought I was. Like,
Okay.
I was sitting there, like, when I went back in there and started watching it, I was like, don't remember this. So I went, I guess what I'd done is I'd watched some under my profile and like some under the wife's profile and shit like that.
Yep.
So I went and looked at hers and I'm like, what the fuck? And I went and started it there and I'm like, all that shit I remember from that show happened in the first fucking season and a few episodes into this season. Holy fucking shit.
Yep.
Like,
wow.
It's a lot, dude. Like where I'm at, they're still fighting to get the casino
done. So they're still dealing with Jacob and what's her face, right? Probably.
Yeah, like what's his the one dude wanted to bang Wendy.
Yep, Charlie.
Yep, like I'm in that general area.
Yeah. So good thing I have.
So you're way ahead of me.
Good thing I've been minimizing spoilers then if you're that far back.
Well, I don't care. I mean, I've pretty much heard them all.
Yeah. So I mean, I think we left off at episode 8, season 3. So I think that's where we stopped.
I would have been caught up to you, but this week got busy with shows.
Yeah, exactly. So we'll talk about that in a little bit. So I did watch Obi Wan Kenobi. And if everyone here at the table,
that's a segue, Mike.
Yes, well, it's not technically a segue; it's a setup for later. So we don't have to talk about it right this second because we can wait till we get done with all of our weeks and then we'll talk about it. So I did watch the Kenobi show. I did also watch. I think we're up to episode.
You just
5.
said that really weird. It sounded like you said I watched Kenobi's shoes.
Yes, I watched.
That's right.
I watched his shoe. I watched the Obi Wan Kenobi shoe.
That's right. We got a really good shoe for you.
It's a really good shoe tonight, guys.
A really good shoe.
Well, I wish. Anyways, so did get up to I think episode 5 of Stranger Things, and I know it's been like 3 years since the last season, but like
it's still awesome.
They're making up for it. They're definitely making up for the time gap. And we'll talk about that too. For if you guys have managed to watch it, we can talk about at least the first couple episodes.
Okay, we
I
can't
like-
just keep taking everything and talk about it later. If you bring it up and we've all seen it, we just lat us into it. So let's
Okay.
talk about Obi-Wan. Boom, go.
I'll let you guys go first on your opinions of it, and then I'll go.
Yeah. Plus, we still got to go through our weeks.
That's what I say. This is why I didn't want to interrupt our weeks to talk about the show.
Yeah, but it doesn't work that way because then during my weeks, I'm gonna say I watched the show, and then you're gonna be like, "Well, we'll talk about it in a little bit," and then Mike's gonna be like, "Well, I watched the show," and you go, "We talk about it in a little bit." Let's
Well-
just fucking talk about it. If you go first and you bring it up, the other two people can still talk about it if we had it in our weeks.
Fine. Either way, you guys tell your opinions, and I'll talk about mine.
Yeah, because his is more important, so he has to go last. No, incorrect. This is your week. You started off. What did you think about it?
Why are you breaking the formula here, Ricky?
How
I'm not
about
breaking the
this?
So,
formula.
okay.
We'll go currently about how our weeks went. Then we'll all just dogpile into Obi-Wan.
I wanted it to be
Okay,
just
cool.
me
Look,
and
my
Joe.
week went fine. Now let's talk about Obi-Wan.
God damn it.
God.
Fine.
What are
Okay.
you going to be so difficult, Ricky?
Fine. Okay.
Because it's like if it's just one thing we can
Okay.
push it in, that's fine. But it's gonna be Obi-Wan, it's gonna be Ozarks, it's
God.
gonna be Stranger Things, it's gonna be all this shit.
considering we
shoved
have
in.
no other topics to talk about, that's fine. We could have done that. Either way.
Okay, so
I'll
let's
say-
let's take turns. Okay, so you talk about Obi-Wan, Mike, you talk about Stranger Things, or you talk about Ozark because you're further. Mike, you talk about Stranger Things, and I'll talk about Obi-Wan, or vice versa. There, we all take turns talking about something.
Just making it difficult. Either way, Obi-Wan, I'll just talk about my opinion on it without going into full depth on it. First episode was fine. Actually, I was pretty appreciative of the first episode. I like what they're doing. I think it's a pretty good looking show. I like the way it's shot. Characters all seem to be mostly well built and kind of fleshed out. Episode 2 was half of a burning garbage heap, and I hate Reva as a character.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll leave it at that. And
So are we talking spoilers or not spoilers?
no spoilers. Don't go fully in depth. Just talking about your opinion and thoughts on it so far.
I liked it. I hate Reva. There's little other certain things in there that I kind of didn't enjoy. Like I didn't like. I've talked about this over and over with a couple of nerd friends already in chats and stuff. And one of them, Gort, is a real big Star Wars guy.
Yep.
And he's pointed out a few things. Yep. Shout out to Gort. There's a few big things that bothered me that he pointed out that kind of let me reframe my thoughts on it. One of them was, oh shit, how do you talk about it without getting into spoilers? No. Here's the countdown: 99, 98, 3, 2, 1, spoilers. So, Inquisitor getting stabbed.
Yes.
What the fuck? You can't do that because of Rebels, because that's the same guy in Rebels.
Yes.
Yep.
Now the only
And Gort
there's
pointed
explanations
out,
about
this
it,
is
yeah.
how he fixed it, was if you paid attention in Rebels, when he went to die, he says something along the lines of, I don't fear death, I've been dead before.
Yeah. So
So they're saying this might be a nod to that, and they're going to bring him back somehow.
well, we already know that if they can grab somebody fast enough, you can fix them. But even like
Yeah.
Fennec had a mortal wound to the belly and was left lying there for like 10 hours before he managed to get her guts removed and replaced with robotic parts. So I mean, like even
But that's also, you're also talking 25 years in the future from this show.
I know,
You
but
know,
you got
that's
but you
not
got
the
to
same
think.
thing.
I mean, look what they did with Vader. At least, I mean, they could save you to a degree. You know,
Yeah.
if you get to a back to tank fast enough, or an injection or whatever, they can still save you. The dumb thing
Not
about
a stab in the heart.
it wasn't
stab in
really
the heart's
it was
kind of a
more in the
big deal.
gut. It wasn't in the heart. It was
uh,
low.
But you're assuming
I-
as an
Alien
alien
physiology.
Okay,
possibly
so
the same
as
thing.
another shout out, because Mike just brought it up, my friend Eric, EE Prime, he said almost exactly the same thing. He's like, he's an alien. What if his heart's in his butt cheeks? And I have been laughing because ever since he said that, just randomly my brain will pop up and it'll be like this alien gray ass, and
Yep.
it'll be throbbing to a heartbeat because there's a heart inside of it. So it's just a butt cheek going.
Yep.
dum,
thumping
dum,
ass
dum,
cheek.
He wears his heart on his pants leg.
Yeah, like
but
it cracks me up just thinking about
no,
that.
no,
Shout
no.
out to EE Prime for that
Yeah.
one, man.
So
He got me with that.
my only thing about it is I think that was a minor. I think it's going to be a minor nod to episode 1 when Qui-Gon got stabbed and then took a little while to die. I think that was a minor tip to that, but in this case,
Mhm.
he's going to live, which is going to be like a slap in the face. It's like, look, we can get our bad guys to live from this, but your good guys, fuck them, they're going to die.
Yep.
But I think
And
one thing about it, I
like
wish
all my problems with it is you can explain them away any old
Yeah.
nerdy way you want to, but it shouldn't have to be explained away.
I
Because
think-
the list, I have a couple more on the list, but
Yeah.
you keep going with this, and then I'll run those by you.
No, you're fine on that because it makes sense. But the thing I want to say about it is I really wish that lightsabers worked the way they should work, and not
Yeah.
in this, because when you stab somebody with a lightsaber, they should basically explode from all the liquids in their body, turning to steam instantly. But it doesn't work that way.
No, it doesn't. It cauterizes the wound.
It cauterizes.
instantly.
That's not the technology. That's the problem with the way lightsabers were defined as a laser sword, which is not what they are. They're actually a plasma field contained within some type, or sorry,
You're going by old canon that Disney tossed out.
but
Your
that's the
opinion's
problem with it,
invalidated.
because scientifically they don't work that way. Every other
Well, scientifically, they don't work at all, or we'd have them
What Disney
already.
taught
We
me
do
of
have
canon
them.
is the whole problem.
Not the room-sized one. I know about that one.
No, we've got some small-ish lightsabers that people have invented, and they are
Negative.
basically
Don't
charged.
forget,
they're
it's
charged
an elegant
plasma.
weapon from a civilized time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the idea is that whatever energy it is, whether it's superheated plasma coming from the crystal being energized, it's usually contained within some type of field holding it together in a sword shape. And that can be however long necessary by adjustments. But in the way that those should function is that whenever they're slicing through something, like whether that's a bot or a wall or whatever it is, a blaster, the reason why it cuts, as it were, because it's
Is it
hot,
melts.
because it's hot, you're breaking the field and exposing that plasma to whatever it is hitting it, right? And if you recall, what happened in episode 1 when Qui-Gon jammed his lightsaber into that heavy-duty door?
Yep.
It started
It started
melting
melting.
that door.
Mhm.
So
That's right.
why would it not
Superheating it.
instantly, if it's hot enough to melt that shield door, like that significantly after just a couple moments, just stabbing into a fleshy thing that's mostly made of liquid, essentially, would not just instantly cauterize the wound, especially if you leave it in there for a second. Like, remember when Kylo stabbed Han? Like,
Yeah.
that was some bullshit. Like, if it's in there long enough, it's literally going to, like, burn away at the flesh at bare
Yeah.
minimum, or catch fire to the clothes, or, you know, realistically, it should instantly superheat a liquid, which is the main reason why, if you've ever heard the argument, how would Vader fend against xenomorphs, you know, with just a lightsaber, is like, he'd be fucked, because as soon as he slices through one, it's just going to instantly evaporate that acid blood, and then it's just going to start melting away at his suit. So, like, he would have to use the Force to kill them. You can't just use a lightsaber. Blasters would work fine, but, like, that's the thing. It's like, that's the problem with this technology, is they invented it to do it one way, and then said, wait, it doesn't make sense because of the way we have to do it on movies. So they just say, fuck it, that's not how it works, until it works that way, and then they say, well, it's just because of this. It's like, no. It's like, you can't say, but just this. That's why it's so much bullshit. But either way, yeah, he's not going to stay dead, because we already know he has to live later. So whatever reason they come up with next episode, he'll be back alive. But I already knew that by the sheer amount of toys they've made for Reva and no one else, she was going to be the main antagonist of this show.
Oh yeah, of course.
That was obvious. And I'm like, and I hate her character. Like, I don't mean I dislike what she
Because
does.
this is Kennedy Star Wars.
I'm not even going to go there. Because Kathleen Kennedy is responsible for some of the best movies and other things that have ever happened. So, no, I will not ever take the it's Kennedy's fault stance.
Mhm.
So,
a couple other things that, before we get rolling,
Yes.
a couple other things I had issue with.
go ahead.
Her mind reading capabilities. Fucking hated it. Thought
Yeah.
it was dumb. It's too much.
Yep.
Okay, now this one is one that I had the conversation with, and it's very pedantic, and it can be explained away, but it shouldn't have to be. Is New Hope, Leia's plea to Kenobi?
Yeah.
General Kenobi, you were a friend of my father's during the war. I need your help. You know, paraphrasing.
Yes, exactly.
In this one, she
She's-
flat out fucking knows that that's Ben Kenobi.
Mhm.
Because one, he tells her his name is Ben.
Yeah.
And they argue like, he never said his name was Obi Wan Kenobi around her. I was like, no, he did not. But what happened was that fake Jedi guy, the one that was scamming everybody,
He said Obi-Wan.
literally
yeah.
calls him Obi-Wan to his face with her standing right next to him, looking
Yeah.
at him, listening to the conversation.
Yeah.
So in this little girl's brain, Ben and Obi-Wan Kenobi are now the same exact fucking person. But in her plea in A New Hope, she makes it sound like somebody
She doesn't
she
know
has
who he
heard
is.
of through her father. You know, her
Yeah.
father said, I had a friend named Obi-Wan Kenobi, look him up. That's how it sounds in episode 4.
But also,
But now it should say, General Kenobi, do you remember me, the little girl who got kidnapped and you rescued me? Like, that would be the real plea now, because she would be talking directly to somebody that she knows. So that kind of fucks it a little bit.
well, even forget about
In
that.
3,
that he said that he wouldn't. He basically made it out that he didn't know who Leia was in the first place in episode 4, but he clearly knows who. Well, I mean, we had to retcon that anyways. That he knows exactly who Leia is. Like, he's not an idiot. But now that they've met, the only other way out of that is some kind of Jedi mind wipe, like just boop.
Yeah, okay. So you got that capability. That's what I'm saying. You can explain it away. She was just phrasing, like, one of the ways Brink, shout out to Brink, explained it was she was saying it that way in 4 in case the message got picked up by somebody else. It was like keeping it a secret type thing. I'm like, fine, that makes it make sense. But what else would have made it make sense is not have fucking Leia know his name is Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
That would have done it too. But that's easily explained away. Another one that I fucking hated, and I can explain it just in the story that was presented in these 2 episodes, was the fact that Reva knew that Vader was Anakin.
I know.
Now,
that's bullshit.
The thing that can explain it away, and I thought about it, and Gore even came up with the same exact thought process, is she was doing a bunch of deep dives on Obi-Wan. She said she went back through the archives and read up on him. Maybe while doing that, she found out about Anakin, and then finding out about Anakin, she led us that way because he would be a Jedi also, and they're trained to hunt Jedi, so she would have tracked that down. And somewhere along the way, she ran into that hologram that Obi-Wan saw in 3 of Anakin standing up, you know, in front of the Emperor, and the Emperor going, "Arise, my apprentice, Lord Vader." She might have seen that. That's the only thing that explains it away, her knowing it, but I still think it's dumb that she knows it, because Gort was telling us in this time frame in the modern Marvel Darth Vader comics, which are considered part of continuity, nobody knows who Vader is. Vader is literally the fucking boogeyman of this galaxy. Nobody sees him. Nobody knows who he is. If Vader comes through, it's like a whisper, like, oh my God, this big black robot guy came in and killed everybody and he disappeared into nowhere. That's the stories of Vader at this time. So the Inquisitors are like his lackeys. He sends them out to be the public face of fear.
Yeah.
He's the one that just comes in and wipes shit away afterwards.
It was dumb
that she knew it.
I agree. I totally agree with that. And the only way I would explain it away is that somehow Vader trusted her enough to mention it, or it has come up before, or
I can't see
I don't know if the Grand Inquisitor knows or not. You know, it's like basically his main boss. Maybe it came up at some point, but I don't know. I haven't seen enough of that to
because
find
if
out,
she's a third sister, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, the Grand Inquisitor would know more info than her, right?
Yeah.
But even still,
but why would she?
You know, once you're Darth, whatever,
exactly.
Your old life is gone, doesn't exist anymore. You're just, you know, a Sith. That's it.
Yeah.
Nobody else knows who you were, what you were, where you were. That's it. And like Ricky said, basically, you're a ghost.
Yeah,
that's it.
With the exception of like Dooku, who was still very public.
Yeah, I mean, Dooku.
Yeah, he while being a Sith Lord, he also was very public, at least. But he kept the Sithiness. He kept the Sithiness in the background. But no, I just have a lot of fundamental issues with Reva's character. Like, it's just she's. I don't know. It's like it just and it's not the
Reva is just
but
I'm angry. That's the only emotion she has. Anger.
So I actually made
woman's hand for what reason? No reason. Just because I want to be a badass, right?
I actually made Gort crack up because I told him her acting reminds me of Anakin in episode 2. I killed them all.
Yeah.
I killed the women and the children. She's like a fucking block of wood.
I slaughtered them like animals.
Like she walks in and she's like, I hate Jedis. I am so angry. I will kill you.
But
I got a lightsaber. I'm like, oh my god,
but
she's
even-
like a fucking block
You're
of wood with a
bossing me around.
lightsaber.
Oh,
dude.
I got an issue
Yeah.
with that.
But even to the point that she basically kills the Grand Inquisitor
yeah, that's bullcrap.
for basically trying to keep her in line. It's like,
Yeah.
First of all, if they brought in someone like this to their quote unquote team, they would have killed her a long time ago for just being insubordinate. It's like,
that Grand Inquisitor would have been able to sense that she
Yep.
was going to do something like that. I'm
Yep.
sorry.
he was giving her way too long of a leash to try. Like he just assumed that she would follow his orders and everything. It's just like
Big time.
and
Big time.
I just think that, like, I don't understand, and I'm sure that it'll unfold eventually to what exactly her problem is. But like, given her complete,
Well, here's
and utter,
the theory that.
What can I?
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, like, her complete and utter rage towards Obi-Wan and this whole concept of I will be the one to bring him to Lord Vader and all this kind of stuff leads me to believe that, like, she's for some reason much closer to Vader than other people are for like some unknown reason as of now. You know,
So
stupid reason.
The running theory, Brink pointed out, Gort talked about it too. Like, these are guys I talk to in a group chat all the time, and we were talking about this, and they brought it up, and it makes sense. Is if you remember the very beginning of the first episode, the first Jedi,
she's
with
the little black.
She's the little black girl in that,
Yeah.
and the reason why she hates Jedi so much is because they failed her. They failed keeping everything alive and keeping her safe when all that shit happened.
Yeah.
So she ended up with bad guys. Her love of Vader is the fact that he escaped the Jedi Order. After she found out that he was Anakin, it would make her infatuated with him because he was a Jedi that would have failed her, but instead he became the most powerful being in the universe. So now she wants to be like him. So that's what her infatuation is with trying to get him to notice her.
I get that part, but part of me also wonders if she feels the Jedi failed to protect her and the other younglings. They failed to protect him. Like, he went there to specifically kill him.
I get that, but that's not from her point of view. From her point of view, they didn't protect her from the clones.
But yeah, exactly. But I'm saying, like, something
like
we haven't seen.
Help it being overrun like that.
True, yeah. But something we haven't seen is whether or not Anakin encountered her and the rest of her class and, like, for whatever reason killed everyone else, but, like, maybe she decided to submit and, like, he, I don't know. At that point, they took that.
If they even try that shit, no.
It might be the
evil guy.
And
soft touched that. They already pussyfooted and soft touched that death scene in fucking episode 3. They better not fucking retcon a story in where he decided to take in his little buddy that he found walking down the hallway. Fuck that shit.
You never know, dude, because we don't know what all he did there. You know, it could be. Yeah, it could be that
we do. He murdered everybody. That's the whole point. You can't come back from that. You know, Joe has talked about it on Nerd Rage. There are certain things you cannot come back from, and murdering a building full of little children would be way up that list.
Oh, I get it.
And that's the whole point.
I'm not saying
it was unredeemable.
I'm not saying it redeems him, but I'm saying that she
would. They're going to make her look like the big hero at the end. Where
here we go, y'all.
No. I betcha they're gonna. She's gonna somehow.
She's gonna have a redemption arc.
To not disclose the information about where Leia and Luke are, and Vader's gonna sense it. Where it's going to look like she was the actual one, not Obi-Wan that actually, protected Luke.
Vader's not looking for Leia and Luke. Vader don't know Leia and Luke exist.
I know that. But Anakin already knows somehow that Luke and Leia are out there, right?
No, he doesn't.
Not at this point, he doesn't.
No, not at this point. But I bet you he's going to, like, glean the information somehow and essentially, slaughter her in the end of it.
My headcanon fan theory that I ran by everybody last night when we were talking about it was this. Obi-Wan, somebody brought up Obi-Wan still hasn't made contact with Qui-Gon. Like, he still hasn't.
He's trying to, but he's not
made that inner peace. He's trying to get to the point where he can.
Yeah.
So I said, here's my theory. They were talking about the redemption arc and all that. I said, and then somebody else brought up, I can't wait till they have the Vader Obi-Wan fight. I'm like, well, what if they know everybody wants that and they purposely don't?
Oh,
what if they do this? No. Wait for me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
They have her with her redemption arc and they treat her like Jedi Fallen Order, like Trillian from Jedi Fallen Order. Vader comes, swoops in, and fucking murks her before she has a chance to fully redeem herself. So she's dead and gone. So when that happens, he starts going after Obi-Wan's. Picture like they're on opposite piers. They can see each other across the water, but they're not right there. Well, now he's going to go after fucking Obi-Wan because her and Obi-Wan were just having their fight. She starts her redemption arc. Vader swoops in to kill him. Out of nowhere, the fucking ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn, because mind you, Luke's Force ghost handled a lightsaber in episode 8 or 9, I mean. So now we know that Force ghosts can interact with physical things. So they have, out of nowhere, the Force ghost of Qui-Gon Jinn comes in to save Obi-Wan's life, and he fights Vader to a standstill while Obi-Wan just looks on and gets up and escapes. So you never get the fucking fight between Obi-Wan and Vader, but you do still see a cool-ass fucking lightsaber fight.
I think there's a better theory, honestly. That's a good one, though. I like that idea. But I think Liam Neeson has confirmed he is definitely in this series somehow. Yep. So we will get that, but I think what has happened at this point, he can't communicate with him for whatever reason, but he has. So he's already been training to do this stuff, and he has talked to Qui-Gon, but for some reason Qui-Gon's not answering him right now. He's busy on the other side.
But he can't talk to Qui-Gon because he's closed himself off even from the Force, and you're not going to talk to a Force ghost if you're not open to the Force.
Well, he's not 100% closed off because we saw him at least using the Force to some degree. Maybe not 100%.
And look at how bad that was. I'm pretty sure I'm that good at the Force. He caught a 10-pound girl a half a foot off the ground. It took like 5 stories to be able to make that work for him.
Yeah. But I don't know if that's so much being cut off or just rusty, you know.
How about parkour Siths?
Yeah, that was the worst part. No, Batman.
That was the fucking dumb shit.
Batman.
Don't you fucking say Batman. You keep Batman's name out your motherfucking mouth.
She fucking was doing the whole Batman pose.
No, fuck you. No, she wasn't.
You're gonna use a blaster, which Obi-Wan pretty much despises using.
Yeah, but we've seen him.
But remember, that's when he was a Jedi Knight. He no longer does that now. He doesn't consider himself in one with the Force, so he wouldn't be against using a blaster.
Yeah, but what's the point of bringing the lightsaber then?
Because he knows he might have to
prove who he is.
There's
prove who he is, and also he's gonna get back into.
If you're going around the galaxy to get Leia, to find Leia, why dress up in Jedi garb?
Because it's actually a pretty decent disguise. It's like realistically that cloak.
Nobody's it's very generic. Yeah,
it's pretty generic. But
here's the
with the lightsaber though.
I didn't like Leia in there. I don't like. She is the baby Grogu of this series, and they better get her the fuck out of this series by next episode. Possible. Look, he found her. Get her home to her mom and dad, and then fuck off to the rest of the adventure. If she carries on through all these episodes, that is a dumb.
That'll be the end
story.
of it. Yep, it's a dumb.
That is
story.
Fucking dumb.
Okay, so. What I'm going to say towards the lightsaber thing, he brought that because he knows it's his best tool, but it's also the tool that's going to give him away the fastest. He's only going to use it when completely necessary, and we see he sucks ass with a blaster.
Yeah, well,
for the most
when
part.
He's already outed anyway, and every bounty hunter on that freaking planet's looking for him.
Yeah,
he's already outed anyway.
But you don't want to literally
wave a big
remember
using the lightsaber is not just swinging a sword around. That's it's the different stances of a saber fight. In Star Wars canon, you use your Force in concert with the lightsaber. So if he's not in touch with the Force and he's not using the Force, he would not be able to use that lightsaber.
Yeah, just swinging it around is not going to really help him.
He would literally just be swinging an electric stick at that point. He's not going to use it correctly. He'd probably end up chopping his own fucking foot off.
Yeah, so I agree at that point. It's his backup, but it's also the thing that's literally going to be like a giant fucking signal flare to anyone looking for a Jedi. Because at this point, lightsabers are outlawed. So you literally, anybody with a lightsaber is going to be taken down or reported. Yep. So, but the other thing I wanted to say, theory-wise, when we're talking about the end, as it were, I think because Vader seemed to not realize that Obi-Wan was still alive in Episode 4, I think they are going to have a fight, and it's going to come down to Reva pretending to have killed Obi-Wan somehow to where Vader thinks that he is legitimately dead, but then Reva also dies. Maybe that's her redemption, so that he never goes looking for anybody after that fact. So Obi-Wan manages to fuck off back to Tatooine. You know, Leia goes back, probably has her mind wiped, or she hit her head, or some bullshit. I don't know. Whatever's going to remove that memory, because they can't leave it. So I think this is also going into that where I talked about a few weeks ago, our fan theories and fan expectations, you know, really making shows worse. I think at this point, because we're all expecting the Vader / Obi-Wan fight, and we're all expecting a lot of
That's
different
why I'm
things from
saying
this.
it'd be funny if it didn't. That would be
Yeah,
an
no, I get that.
expectation subversion. That's why I said the thing
I
about
know.
Qui-Gon's like, what if they fucking did that instead? Dude, and people couldn't hate it. You'd be
Yeah.
upset that you didn't get the Obi-Wan Vader fight, but that would be badass to see Qui-Gon be able to fight and like make up for his fucking shitty fight with Darth Maul. Like make up with it by taking on Vader.
Yeah.
That'd be fucking awesome to see.
But at least for me, I want Reva to not be the only one that fucking matters in this show. I need to see the others.
I don't want Reva to matter at all, but unfortunately with that new HasLab announcement, they're gonna push her fucking hard.
How do I sound now?
About
Better.
the same, but a little bit better.
Okay.
But it's still
Well, that's weird.
It's still really loud compared to where it was a minute ago.
Huh.
But all the background noise is gone though.
Yeah, let me turn you
Okay.
down though, because you were like booming.
Wow, that's pretty weird.
Yeah, so you must have bumped something that fucked with the connection. That was crazy.
No, I don't think so. Anyway,
Because there was a noise, and then we could hear everything that was going on around you, and then you were insanely loud. So something definitely
that's
got
weird
bumped.
because there was really nothing going on around me.
Yeah.
Canadian Wi-Fi, your beaver stopped running in his little fucking his gerbil wheel. You need to go yell at him.
Yeah.
That's exactly what it is. All right,
Time
so
to get a new beaver.
I think we're fairly squared away at least.
No,
on
Mike was
Obi-Wan
trying to
now.
make a point.
Oh yeah,
Mike was
yeah.
trying
Sorry.
to make a point.
Yeah, make your point.
No, I think it's going to be. That's the clip that I saw that was leaked.
Oh, you're no. You don't get to talk to direct knowledge of spoilers. No. We're talking fan guesses. Shush.
It's like,
No more
that
talking.
didn't
No, no.
happen.
Still a guess what's going
No,
to
you're not guessing. You just said you saw a clip from the fucking show. That's not a goddamn guess. That's like me guessing the end to Godfather.
But again,
No.
I haven't gotten into the rest of what I'm going to say. I only saw like maybe a 3-second clip.
Okay.
So I know there's going to be a fight between and Obi-Wan on
Mhm.
what looks like. Okay,
Mhm.
that's all I saw.
I might remove this section just for
Yes.
potential spoilers. We can talk about it, but I'm going to remove it.
So, okay. So I think, yeah, there's going to be a redemption of Reva.
Character.
Vader's going to kill her, but it's going to be made to look like she doesn't reveal where Obi-Wan is, but Vader senses it anyway and kills her. Making it look like, Reva's just the big savior at the end.
Yeah, I mean, maybe, but then we still have to have a 9-year gap where he somehow knows where Obi-Wan is and is still alive, but then completely acts like he didn't even know it. So they're gonna. That's a hard square to circle. That's a hard circle to square, whichever way. So I mean, your particular spoiler knowledge, be it as it may, they still have to somehow get there in a way that remotely makes sense, and then make sense of it after the fact. But yeah. I think that
it's going to be odd.
I think that in this case, this should not have been a series. I think this should have been a movie, because this could have been wrapped up in 3 hours realistically. And I think at this particular juncture, the entire Leia storyline doesn't fit with it, but it's the only thing that's going to get him off the planet. So, we even saw that
because it's looking like a Reva Leia episode with Obi-Wan guest starring.
Yeah, this episode 2 was definitely a Reva episode. It was not an Obi-Wan episode. And I did like Flea being in it though. I was a big fan. As soon as I saw Flea on
I literally, as soon as I saw the first thing, I went in the group message, and the first thing I said was, Disney just got Red Hot Chili Peppers in my Star Wars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
I was not okay, because it would have been awesome if like when Obi-Wan was trying to get, like, he did the escape thing, if Flea had been like, he's getting away now, like that would have been awesome. Other than that, he didn't need to be in there. He's not a good actor. He was trash.
The other thing I found very odd in the first episode, like, I get Obi-Wan's headspace, okay?
Yes.
10 years later, I can feel that he'd be in the depths of despair, right? All the Jedi are pretty much gone, right? But you got this one young Jedi that comes about that finds Obi-Wan and he blows him off.
Well, that's
Like-
in
like-
character. That's in
That
character
that
because
makes
right now
sense, though.
his
kind
one
of,
in
in a
no
way,
100%. His one and only goal in life is to keep everything away from Luke. Everything.
Now,
He's just trying to stay alive and
I
protect Luke.
understand that, but in a way, I know it just didn't sit right.
Well, I mean, that is kind of the point of it, though. It's like he
Yeah,
even told the guy, because this guy was clearly a youngling who barely survived,
yeah,
and so he literally doesn't have the discipline. He hasn't been through the trials. He hasn't done anything. All he basically has is knowledge of the Force and probably minor lightsaber skills. And he's been running for the last 10 years, probably with zero friends, or all his friends have died along the way until he happens upon Tatooine and then happens to find Obi-Wan, because they weren't there looking for him. They were actually there looking for Obi-Wan, which was interesting. They just happened upon him. And then the fact that they cross over, of course, that's Force coincidence.
True. I mean,
But-
like I said, I get Obi-Wan's headspace.
Yeah.
I do, right? I do get it.
Yeah.
But
I mean, it's not like you could
It's-
take him in, because you get enough Force users in one place. It's going to be like a freaking...
true,
Like-
it's going to be like a beacon to.
It's going to be like a
you know,
beacon to
anyone
to
else
these other
that's
assholes.
force sensitive on the dark side. So-
I got one last complaint, realistically, and it was basically that Kumail Nanjiani just stood out like a motherfucker. I'm just like, that whole fake Jedi section.
Oh God.
Like, I knew what was going on. It was really fucking obvious what was going on. But,
Yeah.
like, Kumail can only be himself. He's like Ryan Reynolds. Ryan Reynolds is just himself in everything he plays. You're not going to see him as anything else. He can only
Yeah.
transform so far. And, like...
If it
it's-
ain't broke, don't fix it.
yeah, but he like stood out too much as just him doing a thing. But then they
Yeah.
try to wrap it around, and I didn't even catch how his character knows Obi-Wan. I must have missed what his
I know.
name
Same
was.
here. I thought it was the only one.
He clearly was somebody from the prequels. Like, had to have been a young kid who ran into Obi-Wan at some point.
And I watched it twice.
Now, I thought that maybe he was like Anakin's friend on Tatooine, because he did have a kid who was like fairly, Indian. So I thought maybe it was something like that, because he clearly knows who Obi-Wan is. He's faking being a Jedi, so he knows about the Jedi. He knows what using the Force is, so he's had enough exposure. So, but he's still trying to do good by people. But like, I don't know if that was who they said his name, but I missed it. That connection was completely lost on me. And, but either way, like, we're still gonna
I
give
do
it a try.
like that you get that little glimpse of old Obi-Wan coming back when he confronts him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
But
like that.
yeah,
Alright,
I mean,
so-
that was nice.
I'm liking it so far. The shit that I'm disliking is nitpicky or can be easily nerd explained away, or it might get fixed in the next few episodes. But for right now, it's fine. It is definitely 1,000 times better than Book of Boba Fett, and it's on pace to be better than Mandalorian's first season only, because I can only do one season to one season. I can't see it's better than all 2.5 seasons of Mandalorian, but it can at least
Is
be
it
better than season one.
Halo.
Everything's better than
it's
Halo. I'm
mostly better
watching my
than
dog
Halo.
shit dry in my backyard, and it's better than Halo.
Watching
I
it,
had to,
watching
I'm
it turn
sorry.
white in the grass.
Yeah, it's literally turning
Yeah.
white. Yeah, it's blending in
Yeah,
with the
blending
sugar
in with the
sands.
sugar.
but-
Yep. All right, so since we broke off into that conversation, what else happened with your week, Ricky? Since we did that,
I watched some more Ozark because I was disappointed in myself for being so far behind.
good.
And my plan was to at least catch up to you, but then of course Obi-Wan happened, and I got back from my vacation last week, and y'all heard when we recorded Tuesday, I was already starting to get a head cold, so I was sick. Like, I was down. Like, I got to work the next day, and my boss sent me home at like half day. He's like, "You need to just leave." And then I missed
Just
the
that
whole next day.
travel sickness kind of shit.
I guess it was just a bad head cold. Like, I'm just now, like, I feel a lot better, but I'm still blowing out, like, the neon green snot and stuff. So
Oh, good.
it's
Or is
it's
it?
finally getting out of my system. I'm definitely not. I because of my job, I had to test. So I
You
tested
have
as soon
to
as I
be
got
careful,
home. Yeah, as soon as I got home, I had a home one. I tested. I wasn't pregnant. When I was going into work the next day, I called my boss and told him to have somebody meet me out front so that I could test again. They're a lot more important because it's a medical facility. So they had legitimate tests or not legitimate. They just had more professional tests. And again, I wasn't pregnant, so I got to go to work, but half day he sent me home. And then the whole next day, I woke up late. Like I'm supposed to be to work at 11 when I'm working night shift. And if my job's is like 45 minutes from my house, I didn't wake up till 11:30. Like I slept straight through my alarms. So I called my boss. I'm like, dude, I'm just getting up. Give me a little bit. Or I called him. He didn't answer. He texted me, said he's in a meeting. What's up? I was like, dude, I just woke up. The NyQuil kicked my ass. I slept through my alarms. I said, give me a little bit and I'll be there. And he wrote me back. He's like, how are you feeling? I'm like, I feel like shit. But I'll come in and I'll just take a bunch of Dayquils or something and prop myself up. He's like, if you're still feeling bad, you just stay there. Cause I was training, we have a new guy coming in and I was training the night cook. He's like, I'll go in there and work with him. You just get better and get in here tomorrow. I'm like, okay, cool. So I just went back to bed.
Are you still having to do that further away facility, or are you back at your normal one?
Oh no, we're all done with that. Like when I got back from my vacation, I asked my boss, I was like, are we going back down there again anytime soon? He's like, oh no, I got told I don't even have to go back anymore because I guess the new CDM came in and he
killed everyone. It's fine.
Yeah, no, he feels comfortable in his position, and we were just going down trying to back them up and show them how to do stuff, and they weren't really listening anyways. It was frustrating every time we went down there.
It was like, yeah,
but so yeah, I get to not have to drive an hour and a half one way to work every day, once a week, so that's good.
Nice.
But that's over and done with. So I slept it off the next day. I just stayed in bed, and that was it Tuesday? I came back. Wednesday I went to work shitty. Thursday he told me to stay home. So Friday I woke up going to work, and so I had done nothing. I didn't watch any Ozark. I literally just kind of slept it all away.
You needed the rest anyways.
Yeah. And,
you've been burning the candle at three ends.
Yeah. And so I didn't actually start watching any shows or anything until Friday. So Friday morning I woke up early. First thing I did, burned through Obi Wan. Watch those, knock those out, which I think we just discussed. So I don't know where he's going to cut it into here, but I'm just going to
leave it the way it was.
Okay. And then I tried to watch a couple of Ozarks. I got like one episode done or something that I had to go to work. Then when I got home from work, I was like caught up in that story. So I started watching it again. And while I'm watching it, because I watched it on my phone on the back porch, I got a notification saying Stranger Things. Like, oh fuck, I forgot Stranger Things came out today. So I turned off Ozark mid show. I didn't even finish the episode I was on. Mid show, went straight into Stranger Things, and I'm like on episode 5 or 6, something like that.
So
right now.
You're roughly where I'm at. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm almost at the end of this because this is only like 6 or 7 in this one.
Is it?
And then there's because it's split. And this one is really weird. So they got every episode that I've watched so far. The shortest episode was 1 hour and 3 minutes. Most of them are running about 1 hour and 15 minutes. On
Which is
average.
Crazy.
So they're doing like 6 or 7 episodes in this first part, and then they're gonna do 4 more episodes later, like a part 2 of the season.
Oh, that's annoying.
But wait, it gets better.
Okay.
Supposedly, the last 2 episodes of that next part, both of them are going to be over 2 hours long each.
Basically movies. They're just summing up well, because I know they were struggling.
But they're not finishing it. They're still talking about doing a 5th season.
Yeah, because originally...
But I don't know how they're going to do it. If there's any kind of time jump again, they're going to have to come back to, hey, remember when we used to live in Hawkins? Now we can take our great-grandkids there and they can see where we used to be. I mean, these kids are getting fucking grown as hell really fast. So.
Yeah. Well, at least we had a proper time skip in real life, so
yeah, they kept it in the story too.
Kind of. Okay. Well, they said it's only been a year, but realistically, it's been 3.
I thought it was 2 years.
1. It's been 1 year since they left. Because remember, even 11 said, no,
it's been a year since they moved to that new town.
Since she moved to California.
Yeah, but this is 1986. I thought the last one was in 84. It
was in 85.
Okay.
Each season's been the next year. It started in 84 and it's come up into 86.
Okay.
Well, I think 1 year took place in the same place. Well, because originally they originally planned 6 seasons, and then with everything that kind of went wrong, they're like, "Fuck, we can't really squeeze out 6, but we're definitely doing 5." So I didn't know about the split release schedule, so they're gonna have to leave it at a hell of a cliffhanger to make us want to come back.
Well, I don't want them to leave it at a cliffhanger. I just want it all at one time, but whatever, they're fucking doing whatever they want to, whatever.
Well, I wish that they would do, because it would probably help them out realistically if they did the weekly release schedule like these other shows.
Look, we are old school. I'm used to having to wait a week to watch an episode. I'm used to having to watch commercials in between shows and all that shit. But look, those days are fucking dead and gone. We live in the internet with streaming now.
Not on HBO and Disney. We don't.
You give it to me all at one fucking time and let me fucking binge it. Because that's how Netflix. You see, Netflix set themselves up to be a binge thing.
I know, and it's hurting them.
That was how they did it. So they need to leave their fucking formula the fuck alone. If I want to watch shows with commercials in it, I turn on Hulu or I turn on the Peacock. If I want to watch shows once a week but with no commercials, I put on HBO Max. If I want to binge watch a show, I go to fucking Netflix. They need to stop fucking around.
I think, but I'm saying
all my shows at one time.
But I'm saying if they wanted to be able to space out their season release and actually get it all together, they could have done a weekly release and it would have given them.
But what's their point is what I'm saying is because it makes sense on other things because like the Peacock releases new shows that are airing weekly on actual NBC.
Yeah.
HBO is releasing new stuff that actually releases on HBO.
Yeah.
Netflix does not have their own channel where they're releasing stuff that they need to catch up to from the live stream into their streaming service. Just put it all on there at one time and quit trying to be like everybody else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's the director's choice, the producer's choice.
But my point is,
I
think that I think we've gone backwards to a degree to a weekly release schedule for all big new shows, and Netflix holding to that seems kind of dumb in my opinion. And I'm saying my opinion.
That's what I'm saying.
Wrong.
I'm agreeing with you. It's dumb. I don't think Netflix should do that. I think Netflix should be all at one time and let us binge it. And leave
I'm
HBO
saying Netflix should be like everyone else with big shows.
No,
yes,
you're wrong. You're just wrong. You're just wrong.
And like,
you're wrong
because they port in so much bullshit from other shows, for other channels, I should say.
Yeah.
But they poured it all in at one time.
I know, and that's what you should binge.
Old shows.
If it's a new show, weekly release. That's all I'm saying.
No.
Yes.
No.
That's what I want.
Shit.
That's what I want.
You're wrong.
I like it better.
You're wrong.
I like it better. I'm tired of binging.
Yeah, but you like Halo too, so we already know you're wrong. So
I didn't like Halo. I thought it was bullshit, and I didn't bother to watch it.
No, because you haven't watched it because you don't have Paramount Plus.
I watched episode 1 and fucking hated it.
And episode 1 was the good one, so you don't know shit.
Which is why it's terrible.
Break out the popcorn.
No, Ricky's wrong. It's fine.
Yeah. Nope, I got all the
Halo being garbage should have been dropped all at once so that you could just get it over with.
No, because I wouldn't have made it through.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I wouldn't have made it through. Like I literally kept living with the hope that somehow, some way they were gonna try to fix some of this at least. Even after episode 2 and then 3, where I was like, that's it. There's no fixing this shit that they've now done. I still lived with the hope that they would at least fix some of the bigger stuff, and they just never did.
Yeah.
Nah.
If they had dumped it all to me at one time and I got to episode 3, I would have got out. I'd have never seen any of it afterwards. So if they did fix it, I would have never known.
Yeah. So we'll go more in depth on Stranger Things once we get into Mike's week. But
yep. So Stranger Things, and then I watched Chippendale's Rescue Rangers with my kids.
Oh, what'd you think?
The movie?
Yeah.
Fucking loved it.
Told you.
Loved it.
Told you.
Like, I want to go back and watch that shit again. I fucking loved it.
I've seen it twice.
Isn't it?
I've been waiting weeks to watch it because last weekend when I was on my vacation, it was their weekend with their mom anyway, so I didn't have them if I was in town. So I've been waiting for them to get back to watch it with them, and I got them back Thursday. We literally watched it Thursday night. I took a DayQuil, I had a hot cup of coffee, and I took an energy drink. And I was just drinking that to keep my head up. And I just sat on the couch, wrapped up in blankets, and just watched this movie with them. And once it was over, I went back to fucking bed. But I watched it with them, and I was laughing. It was just a great movie. It was fun.
Now, since you've seen it, and we purposely didn't talk about it last week so that you could watch it. Can I now express why I say this is an actual sequel to Roger Rabbit?
I don't know if it's a sequel, but it definitely plays homage to it, and it's in that vein.
The reason so here's my
you get that feeling.
No, here's my reasoning. Here's my reasoning.
Well, one, Roger's in it.
Roger is in it, but the other cameo from Roger Rabbit specifically leads me to truly believe that this is the same universe, but obviously set in modern day. Because
which other cameo?
Right.
The Dip.
Mm-hmm.
It was actually in this. Because Peter Pan had it in his bag of tools. He had a syringe that said dip. Mm-hmm. So that means that someone at some point managed to save some of Judge Doom's dip and is using it still to kill and or
remember me, Eddie?
Yes.
When I made the Rescue Rangers movie and I talked just like this.
Now, see, here's the other thing that's about it, and maybe it's not I want to say a retcon, but maybe it's something that has changed over time, is that, remember, toons were basically immortal beings. They could not be killed. Regardless of what act of violence you committed against them, blowing them up, whatever, they wouldn't die. The only way to properly kill a toon was to dip it. It's basically erase its existence. Now, the added thing to it that was interesting was the fact that you could literally take an eraser and erase parts of them like they were drawn. So that's a new aspect of being able to, quote unquote, injure toons. But then the way that they had the dissecting machine that could cut off parts and reinstall other parts from other toons also leads to believe that maybe you could literally strip a toon down to all of its individual parts and tack them onto other ones and basically just keep creating mutant toons that are separate from their original ones, but we don't know if they die or not. So that's an interesting new twist on it, but it's almost like they fall into obscurity, and then of course the knockoff, or what do they call it? Bootlegging. So now they get bootlegged. So it's an interesting idea, but I do think that it is literally in the same universe, because we did legitimately get Roger Rabbit. We see them filming a cartoon in the same manner, where like the sets are real, but as they're being filmed, they look like a cartoon. We see live action stuff mixed with cartoon stuff, directly. So I do think that, like, had they dropped in like a Toontown reference or something like that, I think it would have been interesting, or they talk about the incident of 1942 or whenever. I don't remember what year Roger Rabbit technically took place. It was in the 40s or 50s, right?
Yeah, I think it was the 40s.
Yeah, because it was post-war. It was post-war because Eddie.
World War II.
Yeah, because Eddie was a war vet. Yeah.
So it had to have been like the 50s or 60s.
Definitely wasn't the 60s. It had to have been in the 40s.
It might have been, because Eddie was a middle-aged dude, and if the war ended in 45, that means it was at least the late 50s, early 60s.
Let me Google just real quick. Hold on. What year did...
Or then again, he also could have been a vet that just happened to be middle-aged when he got out in 45.
Hold on.
But I know it is post-World War II because they showed pictures of let me Google troops
this.
Coming back.
Let me Google this real quick. What year did Who Framed Roger Rabbit take place? 1947. Yeah. So it was in 47. So it was right after. Yeah. Well, you could tell it was in the 60s because there was no modern cars. They were all cars from the 40s and 30s.
Exactly.
So if we think that took place in 1947, somewhere in California, because, it was leading up to basically like Route 66 being cut through and the highway coming through LA and all that kind of stuff. So, but like every cartoon ever, every child's entertainment thing ever basically takes place, and, everything gets modernized as time goes on. But we also, what would be interesting, so we see in 1993, 1994, whenever they were partying with everybody in the past, they did the Roger Rabbit with Roger Rabbit, that part at the beginning. We know Roger now has lasted at least that long, but where is he now? And we get a direct Jessica Rabbit reference too. So she only ever existed in that movie. There's no other canon of either of those characters. So either their cartoon or movie existed in this universe, or this is the same universe. So if we got Acme references or Maroon Studios or whatever references, something like that, then it would be something different. Because all of that would have happened in the 40s when Hollywood was really getting itself kind of sorted out. So I don't know. I believe it's not just a spiritual successor, but an actual proper sequel, 40 years later, or however many years later, because it's taking place in modern day. But I mean, we even got I love the He-Man and Skeletor.
Yes.
That was hilarious. But what was really funny, I don't know if you guys caught this. So at the convention where Dale was set up and stuff like that, across from Ugly Sonic, which was an amazing, amazing idea.
That was so funny.
Behind Dale's booth was actually a Kronk booth. So, we totally missed out on having
I liked Ugly
cameo.
Sonic. That shit cracked me up.
Yeah, Ugly Sonic, and the fact that he was getting work and he gets a TV show. I like that almost everything was paid off. I think every little thing that happened or was referenced all paid off.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
I think so.
So, it was just interesting, but like I thought the strangest part about it was now that we know that toons can not only have all these things done to them, as it were, they can also mate and reproduce with other toons, like what happened with Gadget and Zipper, how they have half mice, half fly children.
Yeah.
That's disturbing. But also the fact that cartoon flies don't have the lifespan of actual flies. So that's interesting. Not only can they have like 50 kids, that they also don't just die within days, you know. So very, very interesting.
Yeah.
Also, not gonna lie, when they got to that scene when he went to go recruit Gadget and she's wearing the black tank top welding on the Camaro, I think it was. Yeah, it was a 60 some odd
Something
Camaro.
like that. Yeah.
Oh, every little thing from like my childhood just came rushing back. She's like, oh, she's somehow hotter now. It was like, this is weird. It's like, you know, it's like if there were ever furry tendencies, that's where it would come from. You know, it's like, I mean, either way, yeah, that little mouse definitely awoke some things back in the day. But yeah, the fact that she hooked up with the Fly of all people, well, I thought was really strange.
That was kind of strange.
But how do you love, since Ricky's actually not here at the moment, he had to pop out. How about the fact that the cheese addiction was carried on into an actual underground thing?
I did like that nod. That was a good nod to it. You know, Monterey's cheese,
like stinky cheese
it's
is
still
heroin.
going on, and now
Yes.
it's like way worse.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
he's
that's pretty funny.
a crack addict.
Yes. But I love the when they went to the shop, when they went to the actual cheese shop, and like you have a Muppet, and I'm fairly certain it's actually a CG Muppet because like his face changes so much and is super expressive. There's no way they did that with a proper puppet.
You know, like first time around, it's like I kind of had a little bit of a problem trying to guess, is that actually a Muppet or is that a CG Muppet?
I think it's CG because he furrows his brow and actually closes his eyelids on screen.
Well, yeah, but then again, really good Muppets can do the same thing too.
Yeah, but I don't think they can like shift their eyes. Like their eyes don't generally move. Their eyes are usually fixed.
Yeah, they generally don't, but I've seen it done.
Yeah.
So
I'm fairly certain
that's why I was having a hard time.
I think part of it, like when
But
you
it's so
first see
funny.
him. Yeah. But I think when you first see him, it's probably a real Muppet. But I think once you're in the back and he's like talking with them directly, I think that it's a CG Muppet. I think that actually I think the entire scene is CG.
Or overlaid some CG on top.
Yeah. I think the entire scene is technically CG, like everything. But they also would have had to have built miniature sets for so much of this because like
Oh god, yeah, of course.
so outside of Monterey Jack's apartment, whenever they go find the stinky cheese in the dumpster, it's like you can see like it's like a small sized dumpster in a small like driveway, and it's a rack focus, like it's actually something that is small and they're shooting it for real. I mean, it can totally be done digitally, but I think they built a lot of miniature sets to make these things work. Like actually the entire like Chip's house, I don't know how much that was a real set versus CG. The dog was obviously CG. Really good CG. Don't get me wrong. The dog was a really good CG thing, but at this point it's the uncanny valley. So like the house looks real. You're seeing a cartoon character. The dog looks real enough, but doesn't seem to move real. But it's also with a cartoon, so your brain doesn't know what to do at that point.
Yeah.
But like I think Monterey Jack's entire apartment complex may have been a really good like bigature, as I call it.
Right.
So like
I get it.
There's a lot of good stuff there. Or I want to know how they shot the car scene with Dale driving the Mercedes. Like,
oh, just remote control car.
I guess, but I mean, like, they were shooting it in a real car.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess it would have had to have physically set all that up, and maybe it wasn't on a real set. It was just on a volume background or something.
Yeah,
but
maybe.
I'm not sure. It's either way. It's a crazy movie. Like, they didn't have to do the crazy tricks they did during Roger Rabbit because CG is now a thing. Digital photography is now a thing. You don't have to worry about setting up stuff on sticks underneath a raised floor, with people underneath puppeteering handcuffs or a gun across the room and then filling it in with a cartoon that has to be chemically added to the film itself. That's why if you go back, if anybody has never seen the behind the scenes way they did Roger Rabbit, it's crazy. And this is definitely and I want to see more in this universe. It doesn't have to be strictly Rescue Rangers. I definitely want that Darkwing movie that they teased at the end.
Give a whole mesh.
Yeah. Oh, here's what I love. So the modern version of like DuckTales doesn't exist in this somehow. Like we get classic Scrooge McDuck, not updated Scrooge McDuck.
Yeah, not the 3D fucking bullshit one.
Yeah. Well, not even 3D. Well, I mean, have you seen the new one on Disney? The newer reboot of DuckTales?
The one where it's like the Huey, Dewey, and Louie Adventures.
No,
David Tennant is
David Tennant is Uncle Scrooge. No, it's they literally.
Hey, I know who David Tennant is. He's Purple
Doctor
Man
Who.
in one of the Doctor Who's.
Yes. So he's
nailed it.
So the new
he's Purple Man and Jessica Jones.
Yes,
I said and Doctor Who.
And okay.
He didn't say and. He did say and. Mike, you're still coming across really loud. I don't know if you're like got your mic right in your face or something, but you're like.
No, actually, I don't. I have it like.
Oh. It's super sensitive all of a sudden for whatever reason. But no, the modern DuckTales is actually pretty good. It's just the animation is different. So it's like if you're a stickler for the old stuff, it is what it is. But I like that when we got the Scrooge McDuck cameo, one, he's at a health spa swimming in money instead of in his own money pit, which leads me to believe that was all also a TV show and he didn't actually have a money bin, which makes me somewhat sad to think that Scrooge McDuck. Well, I guess he is technically an actor because he was in the version of Christmas Carol and all that. So,
true.
Now we got to think about every other. But one thing they didn't reference in this that I thought was weird is the original Chip and Dale old shorts, like before they could talk and all that. When it was just them as chipmunks, they did not reference that at all, and I thought that was weird.
Well, they kind of it's probably because there's some weird copyright issues with that.
No, that's still Disney, though. I mean, it's still Disney. It's just they chose to ignore it for whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
But,
well, they kind of mentioned that they were doing crappy shit. Cause remember, they had them in the old 50s commercials.
That's true. That's true.
Stuff.
Well, remember, they also had them on Full House as a cameo, which I thought was funny.
That shit was funny, dude. I laughed at that.
They crammed them in on a Full House episode. And what they should have done was put them in Urkel. Like, put them with Urkel. I thought that would have been good. But they did. And also, this was a classic Darkwing, not updated Darkwing, which is also from the DuckTales reboot.
Darkwing Duck was my shit when I was a kid.
Same here. And
that was awesome.
Now, if they want to give me a Darkwing version of the same thing somehow, I would still be on. I mean, it can't be the same shit, but find a way to make this world continue. You know,
but you can't really because then it becomes Darkwing Duck as an actor. It's Drake Mallard was an actor who played Darkwing Duck. I don't want to see that shit. I want to see an actual 89 Batman version of Darkwing Duck.
Well, actually, that's a really interesting point. Who is he as a cartoon actor? Because if he's playing Drake Mallard and Darkwing.
Man, calm the fuck down. Don't nobody
I want to know.
Him come
I want to know.
Tie his shoes and all that. I don't need to know that shit.
I want to know. Well, how did you feel about? How did you guys feel about the Baloo cameo / inclusion?
I thought it was funny. Because he got the 3D surgery. Yeah, I thought it was pretty funny.
Well,
I would rather see old Baloo.
True, but I like the idea.
I like how he's like, "Hey, y'all, check out my new hit song," and like, he's like all dressed up like a hip hop star and stuff. He's like, "Check out my new jam," and then like they kicks it in, it's just the old school Bare Necessities song. Yeah, that's fucking awesome.
Well, I do have a question about that though. In the updated movie, wasn't he played by Bill Murray?
Yeah,
but this wasn't Bill Murray. This was the original actor.
No, it wasn't.
It wasn't the original actor. The original actor's been dead for 30 years.
No. But in the live-action Jungle Book movie, which came out about 7 years ago,
I thought you were talking about the cartoon one.
That played Blue.
Hold on, no.
I thought you were talking about this was the original actor from the cartoon one, the guy who
did. No.
Is he dead?
He did Little John's voice and all that. No, he's been dead for a long time.
Well, actually, let me go Google it real quick. Let me see who it was.
Actually, you can Google it all the fuck you want. That dude was like 50.
No, I'm saying who played the voice in this movie. That's what I'm asking.
It was Phil. Oh, the original was Phil. Fuck, what's his last name?
I can't remember.
I'm mad at myself. It was Phil somebody. He did him, and he did Little John in the Robin Hood cartoon.
Yeah,
he did a bunch of
that version of Blue was always the same. Mm-hmm. Okay, Phil Harris. Phil Harris was the original.
Phil Harris. There you go, Phil Harris.
Hold on, let me open up the whole article here so I can see who all did it. Let's see here. Voice. Phil Harris did the original. I assume he continued to did it for a while. I'm not seeing anyone else doing it just yet. There was a Jungle Book 2.
Yeah, there was a straight to DVD Jungle Book too. Mowgli's Return or whatever, where he goes into the village and he's like human and all that shit.
Definitely never saw that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Still okay. So this is all just about
Yeah,
Jungle Book.
back in the 90s when Disney had to do all these sequels that really didn't have to be made.
Yeah, that's a weird one. Why would you? Okay, so there's Jungle Book 2. There's Tailspin. Okay, hold on. And well, I didn't realize that Baloo had a...
Tailspin was okay.
I love Tailspin. That was a great show. Okay, so his full name on the show that I guess I never realized was Baloo Vod Bruenwald the 13th. Good God. Yeah, and I assume that's the same.
I actually did not know that.
I didn't know that either. That's funny. I must have missed that. Same voice actor from what I can tell. Oh, there was Jungle Cubs. Never saw that.
No, Baloo was actually done by a Christian singer named Stephen Curtis Chapman.
In this?
Yes.
Stephen Curtis Chapman? No shit. I didn't realize that.
I'm looking at it on IMDb right now.
I'm just looking through. I'm looking through here through all this different people who've played him. Okay, so live action, The Jungle Book in '94.
I mean, you're going too hard into it, man. All I did was type in Chippendale's Rescue Rangers cast.
But now I'm looking up everybody who has played him, just going by this.
Thank you, Bobby.
So yeah, in 2016, the 2016 movie where it's supposed to be that Baloo was definitely Bill Murray, but so it was Stephen Curtis Chapman doing his best Baloo impression then, because it sounded very much like him. Okay, here we go. Yeah. But it doesn't say the name. That's weird. It says it has a cameo, but it actually doesn't show his name. I guess this when they wrote this, or IMDb, or not IMDb, Wiki, they didn't include.
Look on
the
IMDb,
name.
it came right up.
No, I understand. I'm just saying where I'm looking at it on this. It's funny that it doesn't say who
like.
it
There's
was.
a lot of dude. Do you know who did the voice of Monterey Jack?
I did.
Eric Bana.
Oh yeah, Eric Bana. Yeah, which is really weird to think about it.
Yeah, that is weird.
Yeah. Okay.
Like there's a lot of big names in this. Of course, I remember. I thought it was funny that that Zipper was the Priceline guy.
Dennis Hassard. Yeah. Or Denny Hassard, however you say his name.
Yeah.
Well, actually, he did a couple.
I kind of almost expected that.
He actually did a couple voices in this.
The president from 24. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I like J.K. Simmons as Captain Putty. I thought that was fantastic.
That was a dead giveaway. And if you didn't know, spoiler alert, if you didn't know he was the bad guy from Jump Street, you're stupid.
Yeah, exactly. I did like how they they literally tried to do the red herring, and then they said, and they're like, no, we purposely did it that way because we thought that it wouldn't be predicted, and then we just went with it because if it ain't broke.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was funny. Yeah. Will Arnett. Will Arnett was Sweet Pete, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's a lot of the whole entire
and then
Lonely Island is in this movie.
Pretty much, yeah. So Mike.
No, not pretty much. All three of them are in here.
Oh yeah, all three. Why do I always think there's 4 guys in Lonely Island? Because they always have somebody extra with them when they do something.
Mm-hmm.
So Mike, did you see the part that I said would be the ultimately hated part for you?
Oh, you know what? I didn't go back and look.
Okay, well, it's very easy to see on screen, but I figured it would be the part that you would hate the most.
Was it where the girl saved the guy?
No.
Or was it Optimus's foot?
No, that's the upcoming Optimus too. That's actually from the upcoming movie. No, the Seth Rogen talking to Seth Rogen talking to Seth Rogen talking to Seth Rogen.
Oh God,
that part. Yeah, I figured that would be, and I love how they actually managed to hide that somewhat in the teaser. So they only showed.
I'm amazed that he was actually in it.
Yeah, I'm not, because he knows all those guys. I mean, this was halfway an SNL movie.
Yeah.
Sorry, taking a drink. So either way, so that's enough about Rescue Rangers. So, oh yeah, we're still on Ricky. So, did you get anything in this week or no, Rick?
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably not. You would. No, I thought you said. No, that was last week. That was the week before that you got some stuff in. That's right. Well, if not, it is what it is.
I don't think I did. I'm trying to do microphone. No. No, I was too busy. I was just being sick and working.
Between sick and working, I don't think you got anything in this week. Yeah, the last time you got stuff was the week before. Yeah.
Oh, I did get an email though from BBTS that Cool Zone, which is the arm bot for Raiden, is incoming.
Yeah,
The new train bot.
I'm waiting
it's
on
on
it.
its way.
I saw they got it in the UK already, so I'm waiting on it so I can purchase it when it drops. Probably
So
next
we're
week.
now one bot away from completing this combiner that just started coming out in like January. So that's crazy to me. It's a six bot combiner, and the first one was either December or January,
somewhere in there.
So we're in 6 months we're gonna have almost all 6 bots.
Yeah,
where you at, Dead End? We're still looking for you.
Yeah, dude. I'm actually speaking of fans toys because you're basically partying with all your MPs. I'm actually looking at that fans toys Jazz because it's kind of affordable, and Jazz is one of my favorite bots. So like,
if you didn't already pre-order it, you're not getting it.
It's currently available for pre-order on BBTS.
Still,
and a lot.
Well, that might be the one that it might be the one I canceled because I went and canceled all my pre-orders.
I doubt there's just the one, but also they have a buttload of the reissues, and all of the new ones are all still just sitting there at BBTS. Like they got a lot of them. Like unlike
Soar and Sludge and Mindwipe, all of them are just sitting on there. Dude.
Yeah, and same thing with not Alan. That's the other one. Their version of Springer is still sitting there. Tesla 2.0 is still sitting there.
Wow.
Rig is still sitting there. So I mean, like they've got fan toy stuff just sitting there. But I was looking at it, I was like, that Jazz is somewhat affordable for a fans toys. I'm like,
I do like me Jazz.
I like me some Jazz too. So I'm like,
I got the, and
I can always sell it if I don't like it, right?
I got the, what was the one that everybody wanted?
Make Toys
just came out. Is that the one? Yeah, Downbeat.
Oh, Jazz, yeah, Downbeat, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one I have.
It's pretty good too. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, same here. I do like that one.
I kind of want to just dip my toe in, but not like, because obviously I'm not ever gonna go full MP, but like I'm in for like certain ones, and then basically it's fans toys. If I decided I didn't want to keep it, I could probably turn it around for the same price in a week. So
see, because to me the toy world, it just face just did not look right.
Yeah.
And I had the Transform and Roll Out version. Actually, that was the first one that I pre-ordered, right? And then nothing was happening. And it's like, oh, Make Toys is coming out with one. All right, awesome. I'm getting that one instead. So I canceled my Transform and Roll Out one. And, I like the Make Toys version. The face is just on point. It's a great figure.
The worst thing about it is the legs, the calves.
Yeah. But
they didn't do a real good job cleaning up those wheels and stuff and the fenders.
It's forgivable because
that's what I'm saying. It's the worst thing about it. Not that it makes it trash.
No, exactly.
It's not as bad as this Moon Studios SHOKY, which is just Sorry, I had to move mine because it was in the way, and like I didn't realize how floppy he's gotten, despite the fact I've fucking done nothing with it. Like his knees are loose, his fucking hips are loose, the foot is damn near falling off. It's just like they didn't try.
That's definitely the weakest one of the batch so far, but that's because it has to do so much more than all the other ones did too.
I agree with that, but like the fact that these pins are so loose in the feet is absurd. The fact that there's a molding problem with trying to get that nose cone squared away, it wasn't even right.
I'm gonna tell you this, mine has been in robot mode for the last time it'll ever be, unless I ever try to sell that thing, because it's going in combiner mode and staying there.
Yeah, see, that's my problem with mine, is that I have not shot the review for it yet, and I'm scared to. Like, I kind of wanted...
Imgo has a good JTI for it.
Yeah, well, I mean, not even that. I'm just talking about, like, the fact that I don't want to put it through the transformations until I know I'm just going to leave it be forever. So, like, I kind of want to wait till I get the arm bots in, do the arm bots, and do him last so that I can get all of it in one shot and not have to do it again. I'm already not...
Are you going to do everybody... Are you going to do the whole train connected to each other thing?
If it comes down to it at that point, yeah, that'll be when I do it. So once I get...
I'm not doing that picture.
No, but I mean, I'm going to do it for the review, just because it'll be... I've done it so far with them, but
I'm saying you're going to connect them all in a straight line with those little clamps they come with.
Yeah, I'll do that for the review.
That's gonna be a massively long train.
Yeah, it'll be on the floor. It'll be on the fucking floor. So, but I'll get there. But I think that I will wait for the arm bots, because I feel like they're going to be at least as good as the leg bots, even though they're that different everything. But this one being so finicky, so many floppy bits, the transformation just being kind of a bear. And with the clearance issues, the fucking tolerances just being shit, and half of it nearly breaking it, just trying to transform it once. Part of me is just like, I'll get it.
Mine wasn't that bad.
No,
but,
mine is bad.
yeah.
Like because I mean, you even said you struggled with trying to get the nose transform for
Yep.
bot mode, and like at least from bot mode to combine mode is actually fairly easy. You know, because you're halfway there. You don't have to fuck with the more difficult
Yeah.
parts. But
Exactly.
Train mode to combine mode is the easier part because
no, I get-
it's literally the combine mode. All you're doing is
you're
just
splitting it
bend
in half. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
and attach it to itself.
Yeah, but I mean, like the leg transformation really isn't that big of a deal. And the arms are
No, it's not.
to me the arms are a
very
little
simple.
bit more complicated. But it's the flipping shit around in the chest and having things clearance properly, all that kind of shit. And now, mind you, I tried to do it blind out of the box, you know, because I always try that.
Too. That's what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I had to give up after like an hour of fucking failing hard.
It
Because
took me a few hours to get mine through all the paces, just doing it without anything.
Yeah.
That's why I want to go back and watch that MGO one and see if I missed something or just slightly have something out of way.
yeah, I think
That'll help
for
it
mine,
together
it's
better.
this robot head is somewhat in the way in train mode because things didn't want to
Oh, the
cinch
big
up
one?
properly. No, I think it's the little head for some reason is not clearancing because it's the front that has the issue, not the back. But no, yeah,
The little one shouldn't be blocking up anything. If you
you're
have it
right.
in there,
That's what
right?
I'm getting at. Is like so something is weird there. Like where the head tucks away, I have some clearance issues. But with the
Okay, I'm gonna ask a stupid question, and
Yeah.
I'm only gonna ask you because I literally did this myself when I was trying to get it to train mode.
Uh-huh.
It took me forever to get it all clipped together because I did not realize at first that the actual Raiden head splits open.
no, I did that first, but
You
then
got that part? Okay.
No, well,
because
when-
that'll make clearancing for the
Oh yeah,
little
because you
head a
can't
little bit better.
get the Raiden head
Yeah.
in there if it's not
Mo-
split. But then also making sure it's facing the right way because I tried it one way and then
Yep.
the other and it wouldn't go. But mine also won't
And it's
lay
the
flat.
orange things on the side of his head.
They
You have to
rotate too.
rotate them a
Yep, you got to
certain
rotate
way.
those
Yeah.
right. Yep, exactly. And also
Good
you
to
got
know.
the chest also
Mhm.
same thing because the head tucks away into the chest.
Yeah, they got to rotate a certain way because there's like a little pocket they slide
Yep,
down
exactly.
into when
And
you're doing
it's
the
gonna
train
and it won't go and then suddenly it'll go. So
Yep.
it's like, but when the head unfurling as it were to tuck in behind in the back of the train mode with the legs, that was a pain in the ass. But also my head didn't want to lay flat. It had enough tension to where it was like crowning a little, so to speak.
popping up. Yeah.
Yeah, so it actually was a pain to even get in there. So it was finally like kind of
Yeah. Squeeze
and then
it till it
everything went.
pops.
And then everything went. I was
Mhm.
like, okay, that's the one time it's going to be in train mode until I put it in train mode for the thing. But like, even for me right now, I know we're on a completely different subject, but when it comes to these guys, I do like the bot modes. Like right now, I've got the other three are in bot mode, just chilling, waiting. And I like how they look together as a team. But like, I do ultimately I don't know if I'm ultimately going to have them all in train mode, ultimately going to have them all in combined mode. I know you're going to go full combined mode because you want them all to be up there. But like, that's the hard part with this set for me because I actually do like
you have
the
a connection to the character.
No, I don't.
Yeah.
I have no connection to it other than the name. But like, to me, it's
I thought you watched the Japanese.
No, I've never fucking seen
No,
it.
that's me.
Yeah, Mike has seen that shit, not me. I just know of it.
Yeah, I don't have any love for it either. I literally just bought it to have.
I bought it because
Autobot
it's a cool
combiner.
combiner, but I also like trains.
Yeah.
You know, I like
Yeah,
trains.
true.
I like
Fucking nerd.
Yeah, but they're just cool. Like I've always liked trains. So like, part of me is like, the train modes are actually pretty good. So I was like, maybe I could have them just all lined up in train mode. I don't mean like, you know, in a train. I mean like on a shelf together, like diagonal on the tracks. You know, something to that effect. But then like, I like the.
I'm
bot
waiting
modes.
for Christmas time this year when somebody actually sets this thing up running around their Christmas tree.
Dude,
you know we're gonna get a bunch of those pictures.
I actually.
Oh yeah, of course.
See, that's for me. I even asked the wife. I was like, could I put them together as a train under the tree this year? But then again, if I have them set up in any other mode, I'm not gonna bother. It's like just where in my brain I almost went, should I just buy a separate set to put in train mode? Always, like, just leave them in fucking train mode, never touch them again, and then have the other set to be like combined mode, and be one of the few times I buy multiple sets of bots. Oh, just tossing it in here as random robot news. New Age showed off their Grimlock last week. Their
yes,
upcoming
it did,
Grimlock.
and it immediately showed off the gold version.
Yeah. Well, they showed off the toy version for sure.
Yeah, but no, they showed a picture of the metallic one that we all want too. It was standing next to like Cyclonus.
Yeah,
There was
that,
another picture.
No, the metallic one is their toy version because you can see he's got all the toy decals on it and then the clear chest. So they're doing some stuff with that that's going to be interesting. And immediately they heard the fan outcry and said that the next Dinobot will come with leg fillers for him because he's got just those gaping sides of the legs where you can see.
And they've already announced they're doing the whole entire squad.
Well, of course they are. They're not stupid.
Well, yeah.
Don't just say of course they are like they're going to. Some people do.
Well, I mean,
It happens.
considering New Age came from DX9 that already did the Dinobots before, I mean, yeah, they're not going to just do only the one. They're going to do a full
Yeah,
setting.
People
exactly.
do
That'd be
stupid shit like that.
You have
I
to have a
want
set.
Super Seven's only doing Grimlock in dinosaur mode with the chef cap. They're not even actually doing any of the other Dinobots.
Yeah, because they're doing later Grimlock where he barely was in robot mode at all, you know.
Yep.
So that's why. But with these guys, when you're going to have it transform, that's another thing. But one thing that I find interesting about it is how big they are. Like, it's surprisingly large for a miniature.
That's not
Dinobot.
surprising. He's supposed to.
Well, I know, but I mean, even compared to the DX9 versions, the DX9s kind of tower over original Prime, I guess, if you want to say that. But like these versions definitely tower over Prime. So it's like they are proper sized, yes. But like surprisingly so, considering, you know, I talked about Cyclonus being really big. So
Right.
they chose the 1 or 2 episodes where he's like huge compared to other people. But like when Cyclonus is dwarfing Galvatron, it does look a little strange. And I didn't even realize till I did the review the other day, the Galvatron is shorter than the Megatron. I found that weird. I was like, wait a minute, shouldn't he be at least the same size?
Not right.
I mean, he's not like significantly shorter, but I put them side by side. I was like, huh, I didn't realize.
But everybody's flipping out about that Cyclonus, and this guy Chuck that I talked to put a bunch of pictures in the group. If you go by the art,
I know, I commented.
He towers over everybody,
but not in every shot.
He towers over Ultra Magnus, or he's like heads up with Ultra Magnus.
But then there's other scenes where Magnus is taller than him, and then also where he's head size, or at the head the same size as Galvatron. And then if you look at most charts, he's supposed to be the size of Galvatron. So it's like
he's supposed to be taller. He's slightly taller.
You know what I mean? Like a hair, not like not 2 heads taller. He's not like ridiculous.
No, not 2. Yeah. Maybe half.
Well, I mean, like even his ears maybe are taller.
I have this fancy chart on a poster.
Yeah,
and on that it actually shows him as slightly taller than Galvatron.
Yeah, just a hair.
I wonder where you could have gotten that.
And believe me, I referenced
Freelance
Mike's chart.
Graphics with a K, and you can put the K wherever you want to.
Yeah, but no, I referenced Mike's size chart when I talked about it. In fact, I'm going to use an image from that, you know, to show that they should be or close to the same size, not like 2 heads taller than. So it's like they did oversize their Cyclonus a little bit. With their Ultra Magnus is huge too.
Though.
Well,
I'm not mad at it because it's gorgeous.
Yes, it is gorgeous.
I mean, you know, if you're getting a quality product and it looks good, there you go.
I think they designed
as long as
something...
you can explain it away, you can pull up those stills and say, "Hey, he was taller in this one." So you can in your head explain that away and explain to somebody who nitpicks it. But if they took like, I don't know, let's say like the Hasbro ran Red Line non-transforming Transformers, and they took Bumblebee and made him the same size as Optimus, that would be fucking dumb. Something like that would be stupid, especially if you're the parent fucking company of the goddamn product. That would be dumb.
That's unforgivable.
Yep. No,
so
that's why
you can explain it away.
It was Bumblebee specifically that got me to drop that line. As soon as I saw
the Bumblebee non-transforming, works good in a masterpiece scale, which is crazy to say out loud.
It would work under a masterpiece, yeah, for sure.
My daughter didn't even.
If you're going for a toon aesthetic masterpiece setup, he's the perfect Bumblebee to have in there.
Better than any MP Bumblebee, that's for sure.
You get that pizza-footed Bumblebee and keep it in car mode because it's perfect for the cartoon, and then you get that to keep it in bot mode with your Optimus.
Yeah. But I will say one thing about New Age. They are designing their new bots after MP designed bots. So like, you know, David is basically a tiny MP44.
Well, you can go back as far as Scarmonger, because I literally, like, hold on, like I'll show you guys, like the listeners aren't gonna be able to see it, but a friend of mine was talking to me about Transformers a minute ago, and that's why I had to jet off for a quick second. I went to grab a couple off a shelf to show them. And where's my flip my camera around button? Where the fuck are you at?
I don't know, but you have to turn it on first.
Oh, I gotta turn my camera on first, I guess, because I'm a fucking moron. There's the flip around.
Also, why are you in vertical? That's weird.
I'm holding my phone that way.
Oh, I didn't realize. Okay. I thought it was just doing that. Got it.
No. So literally, there's MP13.
Yeah.
And then right there's the Scarmonger. And so like that's last year. It transforms and works almost identical to that one.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you have the old Sonic, if you have the original Sonic Wizard from DX9, very, very different. It probably transforms similar to like I don't want to say G1, but it's pretty similar.
And we're not even going to mention how this hunk of shit doesn't transform nice at all.
Exactly. Exactly. But like the Megatron is very similar to what, MP36, is it?
MP36.
There's some similarities, even the really crappy backside, that everybody complained about. But then like
supposedly they're putting out a new version of that coming up soon.
Supposedly somebody
of
is.
Megatron.
Several people are. But I was going to say the Cyclonus is actually very similar to Quietus.
Yep.
Like in a lot of ways from what I've seen.
Yep.
So
I had it in hand at Bobby's this past weekend.
Yeah.
Of course, Robert loves to push his legends on Bobby, so he had it there.
Yeah.
And it is like it. If you were just to look at a picture where somebody did a good depth perception picture of those two, it'd be hard. It'd be hard to tell them apart just from a picture.
Except I don't think Quietus has a swivel, like a center swivel.
I said it'd be hard, not
impossible. No, I'm saying I think that's the only difference between the two. Like even like there's a device. I looked earlier on BBTS, and I was like, oh yeah. So it looks like there's no kind of hip swivel. Or
I think Quietus does swivel there. It's just really tight. Well, I have them in there. I have to look.
If nothing else, it's not the little gem.
It's not as noticeable.
Well, the gem in the belly's not split like it is on the little guy. So I think that's the only difference. He probably swivels below that. Oh, but I will say the main complaint about this Cyclonus. They give you a hole in his back to allow to have him
sword sheaths.
No, well that too, but it's probably also meant to be for a stand. Like you could have him on a stand, but he has no such hole for a flight stand.
I don't think that's for that. I think that's actually.
I think it's for the sword version, but
no, the next upcoming version has the Target Master.
That too.
Put the Target Master on top.
No, it's not on top, but I'm saying like it's in his back, not the back of the ship, the back of his bot mode.
Yeah, but then that becomes the top of the ship when it's in ship mode, which is where the Target Master.
It doesn't. That becomes the middle of his body, and it gets completely buried under the back of the legs.
No shit.
Yeah, you cannot access that hole in ship mode, so you can't even put him on a flight stand. Yeah, so you can't put him in, or you can't fly him, so to speak, in ship mode. And it's stupid. I was like,
it's called microfilament wire. People use it.
That's what I do, and then people yell at me about it and call me stupid for using it to have my jets flying. Miss Laura likes it. That's all that matters.
You don't use You aren't using microfilament. You're using fishing line.
It's super thin hobby line.
It's
not actually fishing line. It's not fishing line.
You get that microfilament shit. You can't even see that shit in pictures, dude. That shit's crazy.
Well, go buy me some and I'll fucking use it.
Okay, I'll get right on that. You give me my Halo gun and I'll give you microfilament wire.
Yeah, that's not even remotely equal. Just roughly speaking of that, I really kind of want that alien gun, the one from Nerf, because I want to get that and fucking paint it up, because that thing has a proper digital counter for the bullets.
Oh, the Nerf one?
Yeah, it actually does have the digital counter that was like,
You're talking about the Gatling gun one with the screen or whatever?
Not even that. It's the one they used in I think it's in first Alien, not Aliens, but it's got the right above the mag. It has a digital counter for all the bullets in it. And in the movie, it actually didn't function properly because it couldn't keep track. They just had it on a very quick countdown timer. So pull the trigger, it activates the timer. But on the actual toy gun that's coming up, it does function and properly keeps count of the shots. So that's pretty fucking cool. So
I think you should upgrade to that and just give me your Halo gun.
No. I think if you want one of those, you better buy one, have it sent to me, and then pay me to paint it.
Oh, okay. Sounds like I'm not doing any of that shit.
Well, it sucks to be you then. Either way, so we got off on a tangent there. So let's let Mike talk.
It's not a tangent. It's just us talking, man. We're nerds talking about nerd stuff.
The Transformer stuff was a tangent because we got way off of our
segue even.
No, there's no segues.
Mike, if you say my segue shit one more time, I'm gonna come and kick you in your dick hole.
Segue.
Okay, I'm on my way, motherfucker. Time to go rent a car.
Yeah, right.
I'll get the steaks ready.
Nice. I'm gonna kick him in his dick and have
this week Mike can afford steaks.
Yeah.
That's where the GoFundMe money went? The GoFundMe money went?
Yeah, lots of steaks.
So you're editing
living in a
out.
Steakhouse.
Editing what out? Making fun of Mike? I can make fun of him.
Yeah, but people might take that a certain way. Don't leave that part in.
We can make that joke. It's fine. Because people want to accuse me of taking my charity donations that I did and went on vacation. I was like, no, I saved up for my vacation and that money is completely separate, assholes.
Yeah, there you go.
I was like, no, I did not use the charity money to go on vacation. Fuck sticks.
Oh, real quick too. In the earlier meeting that I was in, somebody, Seth said to tell you what's up.
Seth? Really? He was in there? I didn't know that.
Yep. And said to tell you, because we talked about the show on there.
Uh-huh.
And Seth said to tell Shoki, I said, what's up? And I said, I got you.
Huh. Shout out to Seth. I didn't know he was
message relayed.
I did not
Now
know
you
that
know.
Seth was a patron of the Bobby. I
Now
know he's
you know.
Well, I know he's a longtime subscriber to Joe and Krista, and Seth has his own Twitch channel over there. Seth Builds. He's got his own Facebook and I think YouTube as well. You know, it all ties together. But Seth's a good dude. He's currently here in Texas. I don't think he's. I'm trying to remember. Oh no. Okay, so he's from Texas.
TMI. I was just told to tell you hi.
Well, I'm
Seth,
just
I told
telling
him
everybody
hi, and now
because
he's like, oh, Seth's mom's maiden name and the last 4 digits of his social security number. Blah, blah, blah.
I mean,
Seth
if I
just
had
said,
that
hey.
information, I'd be using it because he makes some good money.
Oh goodness.
Yes. Also, that man
Really?
that man can lift some heavy shit too. So he's working on being a bodybuilder.
Oh, speaking of bodybuilders, let me tell you about this segue. So everybody listening,
Let me tell you
our
about
friend
this
Sean
segue.
is a giant fat ass who eats ice cream until it's pouring out of his fucking nose.
Oh,
He
God.
weighs he has no muscle mass at all. He couldn't lift his fucking belly fat up to pull his dick out to save his life.
Oh.
Love you,
That's
Sean.
rotten words.
I only said that because he said we were giving him a complex last week,
Well-
joking around about him
Well-
him being a fat ass. So
Yeah.
I said, my bad, dude. I won't do that to you again.
Well-
He's like, man, it almost made me feel bad. And I'm like, okay, I'll make sure I don't do it again. So of course,
I'll
me
make it
being
an
me,
even worse complex.
me
Hold on.
being me, I'll do all that.
Complex.
And then I'll joke about how he started his period and was eating ice cream, crying about us calling him fat last week. So
Look, hold on. Let's just be real about this. Sean's fatness made me fatter this week because of him, I had to go buy
that's
ice
not
cream.
even true, 'cause- okay, all jokes aside, Sean can't even fat boy correctly. We were trying to talk him into
This is
eating mint
true.
chocolate chip ice cream.
This
First
is
of
true.
all, for all you listeners, if it's not green mint chocolate chip ice cream, you're living your life wrong.
Does that exist?
Secondly,
Does non-green
this motherfucker,
Correct.
yes, Breyer's mint chocolate chip ice cream is white and it's gross.
What the fuck?
So
that's wrong.
we told him about this. He went out and got it, took a picture of it, and said, look, you guys are actually going to make me fat, make me want to eat stuff. And then I'm looking at it. It's low carb, fat free, non-dairy, made from grass milk,
Fucking
mixed
fair
with
that's not
life.
even ice cream.
juice,
Fair life.
fake
fucking
ass
ice cream.
shit. It wasn't even real ice cream. I'm like, what the fuck are you? I said, go your ass back to the store and get some real ice cream. And he
Yeah.
started laughing.
And I specifically said, "Bitch, you're in Texas. Go get you some fucking Bluebell."
Yep. And then I asked him then he asked me if we had a Dairy Queens here in Florida. And I'm like, of course. I was like, do y'all have D's out there? I got Shoki at first because Shoki fell
No,
for it.
I
don't
did
care what he
not.
tries to tell you now. Oh, yes, you did. Because
You didn't
first
get
thing
me
you
at
wrote
all. I
back-
knew exactly where you were
Yeah,
going, and I was trying to find a way to
negative.
turn it
I got
back.
him at first. He said, no, I don't think we do. And then Sean never responded. So I messaged him again. I was like, what about, I know you and Shoki live in different towns in Texas. Do you guys have a D's there? And he's like, no, what's that? And I'm like, D's nuts. I sent him a GIF. I was like, I totally fucking got you. Like we're in fucking elementary school again. It was awesome.
You didn't get anybody. I knew where I was going. I was trying to actually reply. I was going to say, it's like, no, we don't have D's, but we definitely have C's. That's what I was going to try to
CD's
reply.
nuts.
CD's nuts. But the funny thing is, like, no joke, right down the way, there's what is literally called the C store. So I've been,
And I literally, after I got Sean with it, I was like, thank God, because I thought Shoki was going to blow it. Because
I
knew
almost
he had
did.
figured
I was
it out
going
by
to, but
that
then
point.
if Sean had replied, I probably would have gone ahead and spoiled the whole thing. But like because he didn't, I'm like, okay, he can still get Sean. He definitely didn't get me.
He did. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
got
no,
Sean,
I saw
though.
where you were going
I got a little-
immediately.
I got fat boy period having no weightlifting ice cream guzzling Sean with a D's nuts joke. It was awesome.
Look, I'm not. I'm not.
Love you, Sean.
I'm
Paint
not
my
the terrible
sound
Hime. I can see those jokes coming,
wave.
so to speak.
Memories.
So if you guys don't know, over on the Terrible Hime, which is Joe's wife, their stream, it has become a running gag for people to pull out the D's nuts jokes on her on stream, and then it get clipped and uploaded later. So it is, and she never sees it coming. Never fucking sees it coming.
So to speak.
She's completely, yes, so to speak. She is like completely trusting. Just has no ironic sense of that at all, and it's just the best thing. She's like,
And she's actually
too
really
innocent.
nice, but super quiet in real life.
Oh, she's shy. She's shy as fuck, which is funny.
But my
yeah.
question is, are you eye to eye though?
Hmm?
Because she's too Shy, hush, hush, hide, hide. See? Nailed it. Now
Either
that song's
way.
be stuck in your head all fucking day.
No, we won't. Either way. So, we should at least let Mike talk about his week before we continue on, so we can talk fully into
Oh,
Stranger Things
sure.
territory.
Okay.
I'm just trying to give him stuff to clip out, Mike, because he sounded bored not being able to cut shit out last week.
Oh, I
so.
see.
That's a segue.
So it was a merciful
I hate you,
segue.
Shoki.
I don't care.
There we go. No, I
Clean
mean, this
cut.
week, crisis averted. So thank you everybody that gave to the GoFundMe. I really appreciate it very much for helping my family and myself out. So yay. That's all dealt with, and that's a big load off my mind. Let's see. I got my train pans for Raiden finally, and my
Train pants.
Fans Toys Skull Cruncher. So all my Decepticon headmasters are now complete. So happy day.
Yep, I ended up canceling my Skull Cruncher when I realized I was getting out of Masterpiece.
Yeah. Let's see. So yeah, happy to have that.
Did you see real quick before you move past them? Did you see in one of the groups somebody took that and like they do like painting like Sean does? They break it all down to pieces and they did the Optimus Prime where he was a gator out of it.
Yeah, I seen that.
Yeah,
that shit looked really nice.
That's pretty badass. So you knew it was gonna happen eventually anyway.
Yeah,
but I mean, whoever did it, it wasn't like they just slapped paint on it. It looked professional grade.
It
looked nice.
Yeah, it looks pro, total pro. You know, like it came from a manufacturer. So
yeah.
Whoever did that, shout
that
out to
too.
you. It's an amazing paint job. Let's see.
I'll go.
Yeah, I mean, just watched Obi Wan. I totally forgot about Stranger Things. I actually thought it was like next week.
I did too.
So I haven't watched any Stranger Things yet. And probably after this podcast, I'm going to be watching some Stranger Things episodes. So because I know my wife definitely wants to dive into it.
Look what my wife bought me, y'all.
A cookie.
Is it chocolate or
homemade
raspberry?
chocolate chip cookie.
Homemade
Chocolate
cookie.
chip. Homemade. My kids helped her make it, and a glass of milk to go with it.
Oh, there you go.
Nice.
Gotta have that. Parenting done right. Let's see what else. So yeah, I mean, you know, because we already discussed it, watched Obi-Wan, of course, so we all got our thoughts out about that.
Pretty much.
What else? I've been
Damn, did I leave that group?
getting into some old anime. So rewatching some Tenchi Muyo.
Wow. I haven't seen that shit since. Okay, so short story.
This is like 90s. This is like 90s stuff.
Oh yeah, I don't know. So back when I first started community college, way back in the way back when days of 2001.
Way back when dinosaurs ruled
like,
the earth.
Here's how old I feel. That's 21 fucking years ago. Either way, so we got involved. I got involved with an anime club that had just roughly thrown itself together, and like they had watch days, like in the community center. There was a big ass TV, and a dude would literally bring in his PS2, and we'd put on some type of anime, and we'd watch several episodes, you know, for like an hour or two, you know, just depending.
Yeah.
And Tenchi Muyo was one of them. In fact, I named what was it? Oh, I named my second guitar, I believe. No, not my guitar. Oh, my second pool cue. Like I had really nice pool cues back then.
Yeah.
I named it after one of the characters, and I'm totally blanking on it now. But
Ryo-Oki?
Yes, it was Ryo-Oki. Yes, it absolutely was. Yes. That's funny how you picked. How did you grab that? Like just randomly.
I don't know. I just figured
the pool stick, you give the balls a hokey pokey. So
yes. But no, it was definitely Ryo-Oki.
You know what? I'm just gonna pick the ship that's actually like a cat rabbit.
That's what it was. 100%. You're right. So yeah. So
all right. So go ahead. But when you get finished with this, cut to me because I want to tell you something about feeling old. But go ahead.
Okay, that's fine. But the other thing, we watched a little bit of was it Tenchi in Tokyo? What was their sequel? One of the later series.
I think it was Tenchi in Tokyo,
something like that. Or, but then we also watched Angel Sanctuary. Okay, have you ever seen that?
Nope.
I've heard of it. I haven't watched it.
That is a very, very for somebody who was never exposed to anime proper. Like basically, we got our Dragon Ball Z's and stuff like that.
Right.
That was a very out there, crazy fucking anime. And we also watched, I think it was called X. It was in that same era, and it was
Right.
it was a movie. It wasn't a full show, and that also broke my brain. So like there's some of the early anime exposure I got has stuck with me, especially Angel Sanctuary, because there was some fucked up stuff in that anime.
Right.
So continue with your Tinchy.
All right,
Well,
real
yeah.
quick before he moves on.
Okay, yes.
Before you move on, let me tell you what made me feel old recently. So when you think about big historical things that happen that kind of change the earth or change the world around us, or even just change our country personally, the assassination of JFK was 1963. Woodstock was in 1969.
Yep.
So JFK was 17 years before I was born, and Woodstock was 11 years before I was born, but 9/11 was 21 years ago.
Yeah, I was in school. I was there.
Weird, huh?
How fucking that shit makes me feel so fucking old. Like for some reason, because we learn about JFK and Woodstock, it seems like it was such a long fucking time ago.
Yeah.
11 years before my birth, but it's been almost double that amount of time since 9/11.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yep. No. Yeah. Since 9/11, because I was in class when that happened, and we all got
that shit. And it's just I realized the other day I was talking to some friends, and I was like, holy fuck, that made me feel old. Not my kid about to turn 13 with a peach fuzz mustache and armpit hair and taking really long fucking showers and still coming out not clean. Like none of that made me feel old.
Part of him's really clean.
that. No, because he wasn't using soap properly.
Either way. Yeah, we're all old. Mike's oldest.
But that
Mike's
makes
really
me
old,
feel
though.
old. That trips me out, man. Shit like that.
So-
But go ahead, Mike. Sorry, man.
No, it's cool. So yeah, what was it? I only got back to this series because there's a guy on, that I'm friends with. He also has a YouTube channel, Brandon, the anime guy, right? So, he asked me, he's like, dude, I'm looking for some more anime to watch, right? And this guy has like over 1,000 guys on his channel. And I'm
So
like,
to speak.
oh, well, I got something for you. I said, have you ever watched any of the Japanese Transformer series? He's like, no. There was like a Japanese series? I'm like, oh, do I have stuff for you then?
I hate not.
Why do you hate him so much?
I know. Well, you gotta bring another one into the fold, right?
Oh, as
So-
if it was that bad.
Transform. Like
So
I
I
haven't watched
sent
it. That
him-
part drives me crazy.
So I sent him everything of Headmasters, Master Force, Victory, and Zone. And after that, I'm going to ask him if he watched Beast Wars back in the 90s. And if he did,
Ugh.
then I'm going to get him Beast Wars 2, Beast Wars Neo.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. You're gonna hit him up with the transmetal shit.
No, I'm leaving that part out. I'm not going to, I'm not a sadist.
No, wait, hold
Oh,
on. You're
God.
not gonna make him do Beast Machines?
No,
Oh, come on, Beast Machines was
Aw.
fine.
I'm merciful that way.
It was
So-
fine, except for the
Aw.
fact that it rewrote every character on a fundamental level.
Yeah, I know, right?
So
So he said, okay, well, if I got to watch all this, then you got to watch Tenchi Muyo. And I'm like, fine. Okay. You know what? I've seen a few episodes back in the 90s. Sure. So
Yeah.
I got all the episodes now. He sent them and it's like, oh God, I got to watch all this, man.
it's a
So-
lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm doing that, watching all those. I'm getting into what was it, Ghost in the Shell season 2 on Netflix. So I'm just starting that.
Is that the good one with Scarlett Johansson in it?
No. This is anime.
He's
Oh, okay.
fucking with you on
Yeah.
purpose.
Yeah, because Scarlett Johansson was only the live action. So
That's Joe's favorite version of the Major. By the way.
Everything is made better with Scarlett Johansson, as far as I'm concerned.
yeah, boobs. I mean, anyway.
Yes.
Ass, boobs, face.
Yeah.
The fact she's Jewish, all of her.
watching those. Watched. You know what? I actually started watching was started watching the old Magnum PI, Different Strokes, and the Jeffersons.
Nice.
For a second there,
Yeah,
I thought
That's a hell of a mixture.
yeah.
It is, yeah. See, and then I just realized, like, because I was really young when for example, Jeffersons came out, right? Which was like 1975.
You know what
Right.
that's a spinoff from, right?
I know
Good
it's a
Times?
spinoff from something. I'm trying to remember.
No,
All in the
All in the
Family.
Family. Yeah.
Yeah, All in the Family. That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
So I started watching that. You know what? If you've never seen the first episode, oh boy,
I've seen a
let's
lot
just say,
It couldn't get made nowadays.
besides the word cracker being dropped, same with the N word.
Oh yeah. No
Yeah.
filter back then.
It
on
couldn't
live
get
TV.
made nowadays.
And you know
Yeah.
what? You know what? It put a lot of things actually into perspective for me about
Mhm.
how we're saying a word is bad.
Yeah.
Mhm.
See, if they could drop it on live TV, then right, and don't get me wrong,
But they were getting in trouble
on the
for doing it.
show. On the
back then.
show, there was a mixed couple on there in
Yep.
1975, right, and they're freely saying this word, right, cracker, and the N word, right?
Yeah.
And nobody is gobsmacked, nobody is shocked, nobody's like boo, and everybody is because the context of the word was used in a joke, right?
Sure.
You know, not a lewd joke, not a bad joke or anything like that, just conversation kind of joke, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And people were laughing. And this is back in the day, it was in front of a live studio audience, right?
And this is only a few years past the Civil Rights Act.
Yeah.
Realistically.
And you
So
know
you
what?
know that mixed couple you were talking about,
Yep.
the black wife.
Yep.
That's Lenny Kravitz's mom.
Yeah, it is.
That's crazy.
Yep.
Yeah,
And his dad
pretty
was
wild,
a
huh?
famous Jewish jazz player.
But you know what? It put a lot of things into perspective how, because a lot of people we talk about, say, for example, in Star Trek, Uhura and Kirk kissing, the first interracial kiss,
Which
blah,
it
blah,
wasn't.
blah. Which, don't get me wrong, is very important.
And it's also a lie because that was not the first interracial kiss on television.
Thank you, because I was going to mention that.
Yep.
But the
It
point
was
is,
the first interracial kiss on primetime television.
Nope.
Anyway.
Yes.
the point is, with shows like The Jeffersons, where you had an interracial couple,
Hmm.
and for example, Different Strokes, right?
Yeah.
You know what? We were really getting past this whole racism thing.
Yeah.
And
What?
it wasn't an issue for us whatsoever.
Mm.
And it makes you wonder who's been peddling the message that, that it's just such a big, huge problem.
Well,
That's a topic for another discussion.
It is, but
Yeah,
I was
not a discussion with me because I'm pretty sure by the
my
end
point
of it,
is,
you
I'm
guys would
enjoying
hate
all
me.
these old shows, and it makes you realize a lot of things looking back. That we really had some good quality shows, and I just enjoyed very much just watching them. Right, and and I was watching like Magnum PI, and it's just freaking hilarious,
which
right?
is very
Just
different.
watching all these old stuff again.
But those shorts he used to wear, oh my God, you could see the bottom of his ball sack every time he got out of his car.
By the way, I want to say,
Yeah, I know.
I do want to say real quick, Mike, when you started that whole sentence, when you said you were saying we were watching these shows, the way you started it, I thought that there was legitimately a Magnum PI Different Strokes crossover, and then you kept talking, and then I was like, oh, he's listing off shows. I thought, I was like, holy shit, did I miss this? It's like, when did they go to Hawaii? I was like, when did they go to Hawaii?
What'd you talk about, Magnum?
What you talking about, Magnum?
What you talking about, Higgins?
Okay, yes. What you talking about, Higgins, is the title of this episode for sure. Okay, I was gonna say though, because you mentioned the Jeffersons. What about the show Amen that also had Sherman Helmsley?
Oh, I remember that with him where he was the preacher in the '90s.
That was I liked that show. I was a big fan of Sherman Helmsley.
It was a pretty good show
because I watched the Jeffersons, obviously it was in syndication by then, but for a long time, by the time I saw it as a kid.
11 seasons.
Yeah, it's insane. I mean,
From
I think
75 to 85.
Yeah. So, I mean, so I might have even seen the tail end of that show in theory.
Yeah.
I mean, I was 2, but, my parents watched it, so I watched it. And then also, what was it?
That's how it counts.
But what was, well, I'm saying I watched it with them. I'm saying,
Your parents are driving, so technically you were driving, I guess.
No, but I'm saying it was on the TV because my parents were watching it, so I was watching it with them. Why else would I have watched it as a kid? Either way, what was the other show? Sanford and Son. So like I got into that
still love
later.
Sanford
I
and Son.
love that show.
That show is so racist, but great. Like,
Yeah.
like and don't take that the wrong way, guys. This is just the world. I mean, if you go back to All in the Family, Archie Bunker is a horrible racist. All right, guys. So either way, we kind of went off on a weird tangent there at the end, but it's fine. Like I said, as Ricky said, we're gonna have all kinds of bonus episodes this week. So if you think that something is missing, it is. Trust me, we got at least 2 hours of straight up bonus content here. But either way,
Because
good talk.
we love you all.
It's a good talk. I actually had to yell at the microphone there. That'll be fun. I'm gonna have to adjust the volume there because I was yelling quite a bit. Either way, we yell because we love, not because we hate. Either way, guys, thanks for listening once again, and make sure you're hitting that like button, that follow button, that subscribe button, and if you're listening on one of the services that allows you to rate us, please do so. Give us 5 stars and all the things. Comment if you are watching and or listening on the YouTubes, and if you are new, either from the Bobby Skullface Patreon group or randomly from anywhere else, let us know. How did you find us? In the comments, and let us know. And if you want to contact the show and ask us any other questions and stuff like that, for the love of God, someone email us at NowYouMadeItAwkwardMail@gmail.com. I know it's a working email address. I've checked it. But other than spam email,
that shit down from non-use.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, please email us. We would love that.
Do it.
It'll be fun. And then maybe next week we'll have more pressing topics, but I think we did good enough either talking about new TV shows or other things like that without having to have anything prescient. But I did really want to make sure that we talked about the school shooting because that was a really important thing that happened here. And considering we were live and potentially mentioning it at the time, it was a thing that I definitely needed to talk about and get out there in the world, especially if you hadn't even heard about it.
Yeah.
But of course, you can follow me at all SHOKY.
If I've heard about it, everybody better heard about it.
Yeah,
I don't pay attention.
No, if Mike heard about it because he's in frickin' Canada, it's like something that happened damn near in Mexico. Mike heard about.
Yeah.
So at least Ricky's remotely in the United States. I mean, it is Florida.
Shit could happen right here in my town, and I don't know about it half the fucking time.
Exactly, but because it happened in Texas, people make sure everyone knows because Texas is the most important state of the union.
That's right.
They're their own union.
Where else would we get our barbecue sauce?
Kansas City, where it tastes fun.
Yeah, no, that's not anywhere, barbecue sauce.
No. First of all, it's Carolina barbecue sauce is the best.
I'm talking about barbecue sauce.
No. Texas barbecue sauce is definitely the best.
The kind of barbecue sauce you get diabetes.
I definitely like mustard-based sauces better.
Oh, I like mustard-based sauces, but I still prefer, actual Texas sauces where they're thick and actually have some body to them. Unlike that runny shit.
Well, you can have thick mustard sauces, ding dong.
You can, but you don't. Either way, you can follow.
Cattleman's.
No. Don't fucking bring no Cattleman's horse shit up in here. No. Cattleman's can eat a dick.
Anyway,
we need a barbecue sauce.
Please email us.
That's a segue, y'all.
You can email us and tell us what your favorite barbecue sauce is. And segue. We're segueing our way to the fucking outro is what we're trying to do. You can follow Mike at all the Comic Relief Crusader bullshit, whether that's on YouTube or the thing. He's going to have a live stream before this happens, so it's a good thing I'm mentioning it now.
Well, thank you,
Mike. When do you tend to have these live streams?
Join us on Titillating Tuesdays.
There you go. He has a Tuesday live stream. I do actually want to try to have a live show at least once a month for you guys, so you can come and talk and yell at us directly in the chat as we argue with ourselves. So we'll work on making that happen because trying to get our schedules to all line up is hard enough. So we'll see what happens. I would like to do a live show because it is a good way to ingratiate yourself to the audience. And then, of course,
you want us to do a live show?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Are you fucking serious?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
The internet would cancel
maybe
us.
yes.
It'll be fun. We can be good. But either way, there's also Ricky. You can go follow the stuff he does on Nerd Rage Radio. The link to their Facebook page is down below. And like I said before, are the promos only on Facebook? But they're on Instagram too, right? Because he shares them.
I think he uses them on Instagram too.
Sure.
Yeah. I think it's.
I don't know if
it's not on YouTube. But it's not on YouTube. So
no.
So it is specific. So if you want to follow that on Facebook, and always we shout out to Nerd Rage because they're basically our
Podfathers,
sperm donors.
Nerds.
They're the sperm donor to our abandoned
And
children.
a shout out to the Realm of Collectors too.
Sure. As always, say everybody.
And thank you, Bobby, for shouting out your love to us. We love you too.
Yes. So, guys, we'll catch y'all next week. Hopefully, we won't be canceled this week, but that's every week. So, hopefully, we won't get canceled this week.
We live in
Hopefully-
abject terror.
Hopefully, all 3 of you that are listening to this don't cancel us.
To all 3 people who listened this long, because nobody.
And if
seems
you
to listen to
tried,
the end.
we still don't care.
Oh, to cancel us. I was like, what? I was like, no, we care that they tried to listen.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to take the dick out of your ear so you could hear me.
Wow, that's so sexist. Oh,
Well, okay.
hold on. I gotta add to my week. Hold on, I gotta
God,
add.
no comeback for that.
Hold on, wait. I have
I don't
to.
know how you got a vagina in your ear.
I gotta add to my week right at the last second. I watched the Ricky Gervais Netflix special. It was really fucking funny. Awesome. So,
Oh, he's gonna get in a lot of trouble for all his shit.
no, he won't, because he made some very good points, and all he did was turn a mirror on the absurdity of life. Either way, so guys, that is our segue to okay, bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Also, Sean needs to bring his ass on a show one of these days.
Yeah.
Sean, quit eating ice cream, you fat fuck.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots, and a sexy body full of tats.